that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Trying to catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was close, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get the strike. And guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hit us, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-power rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK to anybody, kill it. Hop out, get the drilling and spilling. 7.62 gon' split 'em. FN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eat these bullets for dinner. 5.0, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. SK, smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple off Draco. I got 'em all, you don't want no. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I can leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I can squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding.
Salute, salute, salute everybody up in here. Salute to Just Do Boxing, All Things, 2 Cents, Shawala, Jeff R, Young World, Original American. Salute all my kings and princesses in the building. Salute, salute, salute. Man, that song get me hype every time, man. Like my cousin don't know, boy, he had a thing going. But hey, it is what it is. What's good with everybody out here today, man? What's good with everybody out here today? Look, you got the open panel right there. You see it's already there. Anybody want to hop up here, we can get it going. But there's a few things I'm going to go over today, right? GMS Vegas, salute, King, salute. But yeah, one thing I'm going to go over, right, is the exaggerated thoughts. Matter of fact, I'm going to come to that next. I'm going to go to Regis Prograde. Regis Prograde came out disrespecting Devin Haney, right? Now, Regis Prograde, I respect him as a fighter and everything. He got crack and everything, but Regis Prograde forgetting the main thing about boxing. When a fighter moves up from a weight that they've been struggling to make, they also bring that power up. See, Devin's been at that weight for a long time. Now, people, Alexander Lyles, Salawam King, give me a couple minutes, man. I'm going to rinse you up. Give me about 5 minutes. I got you. But, yeah. See, people say I hate Devin Haney. I don't hate Devin Haney. I love Devin Haney as a boxer. I love all my people as boxers. I support them all. But I'm real factual with the situations. Like, I call what I see. And I see tendencies. Now, Devin Haney, his power ain't nothing at 135. But we can say the thing about Bud Crawford. His power wasn't amazing at 135. And it was decent at 140. But when he got to 147, he was able to use his muscles' full potential. And he was knocking everything out that he got in the ring with. And I feel like Devin Haney, he's a young, strong little individual. I feel like with him going up to 140, his power is going to increase because he's not killing himself 30 and 40 pounds to make that weight. So ordinarily I would have said Regis was good, but Regis might be putting his foot in his mouth. Talking about he's gonna run through Devin and everything like that. We can't really say that. Devin and Bill ain't gonna take a fight that they don't really know about. Now they might have seen Devin in sparring, and he was. Everybody might have thought Bill was bullcrap and talking about Devin was busting people up in the ring, and he might have been at a higher weight when he's sparring. Devin might be cracking. We don't know. We see Teofimo's power done moved up some. Like with all boxers that's crunching down to a lower weight, they have more power. Like when Errol Spence moves up in weight, his power is going to increase, exponentially. That's what people don't understand. So that Devin and Regis fight, it might be a toss-up. But let's get to this situation how we got these Bud fans out here saying that Bud is going to give Canelo his biggest draw. Earlier on for 9, we had a dude up there. He talking about Bud is the biggest bag for everybody right now. And I claim that's false by a long shot. Bud was put in the biggest fight of the last 40 years with Errol Spence, and he couldn't even cover his half of that fight. They wasn't even able to make 1 million sales, which should have been easy because it was for undisputed. It was for all 4 belts. Both was undefeated. It should have been easy. But as we seen, they did 650,000. So you can say Earl did his half. Or can we say Bud even did his half? Byron King, salute. But I can tell you this. Errol Spence has always done his numbers. Terrence Crawford had the biggest platform in boxing. He was on ESPN. Floyd Mayweather didn't have ESPN when he was with Top Rank. ESPN is the worldwide leader of sports. That's why fighters go to Top Rank. Top Rank is the best place to go when you're trying to build a name up because they will give you exposure. Top Rank ain't in the business of making superstars. And to be honest, Floyd, Coach Amber, Shalom, D1, Shalom, peace and blessings, everybody. And to be honest, everybody keep talking about people are superstars in boxing. The last superstar we had in boxing was Floyd Mayweather. Canelo ain't a superstar. Tank ain't a superstar. They stars. And you get superstar and star confused. A star is a great fighter, a very great fighter, a very great and accolade. Superstar means you transition your sport. You get what I'm saying? It means you transition past boxing. You have Floyd in raps, Floyd on wrestling. Everybody knows who Floyd Mayweather was. Everybody knew who Mike Tyson was, Ali was. Sugar Ray Leonard was a star, but he wasn't really a superstar. You can't put Sugar Ray Leonard in the same breath as Ali, Floyd, and Mike Tyson. You can't. You know something, D1? Tank might be on his way. But I tell you somebody that might be further along than Tank. And I'm just being honest if you want to be honest about it. Ryan Garcia could be the next superstar. And I know everybody talking about, man, hell, he got beat by Tank and all this. Yes, he did. But you got to realize, I think somebody said he has 25 million Instagram followers. And he has over 11 million TikTok followers. Like, this man reaches over 20 million people. Like, this man has the reach. And plus, to be honest, Ryan got the complexion for the connection, for the protection to push out to the viewer's discretion. I'm just saying. You know, just like Oscar De La Hoya. Matter of fact, he was the golden boy. They had Oscar everywhere. But see, Ryan, he's getting it down. If Ryan Garcia gets in that ring and he shows up, Ryan Garcia can transcend because he's the pretty boy everybody like. He's a good father. He's a Christian, all that. They got the narrative for Ryan. All he has to do is get in there and win. But Tank, yes, Tank's on his way as well. But you got to realize Tank still has a few setbacks. Like, They'll still question Tank. If Ryan Garcia go in there, I feel like Ryan can beat Teofimo right now. Because I've seen Ryan. But Ryan is becoming a name. Like if Ryan get in there and fight Rolly, it'll do over 500K easy. Because Rolly is still a fight, plus Ryan. His fans are finally glad that he's fighting somebody besides a no name. But Tank, his next fight needs to be great too. He needs to fight, like I said, either Loma. Oh yeah, Ryan is looking real good, Chihuahua. Ryan is looking like, see, that's what people always get at because they see Ryan with all his antics, but they don't realize Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, they had the same base. They both was 3-3 versus each other, so they've had the same potential. But Ryan had faster hands and more power, while Devin had better footwork. Now Ryan's dropping that chin. Now he ain't got his chin up in the air, and he's learning how to box. See, everything Ryan Garcia did, he did off his own athleticism because he really never had a great trainer to teach him right. So he was basically doing all that basically on his own. Now he has a great teacher and a great trainer, and he's been getting taught by Floyd Mayweather as well. So you got one of the best, arguably, defensive fighters in the world, and a superstar, Floyd Mayweather, is trying to sign Ryan Garcia to Mayweather Promotions. So even Mayweather sees the dollar signs in it. Oscar do too. That's why he's trying to hold on. But that being the fact, Errol Spence now is off of his band, and he's back in the gym. Errol Spence is back to training. He's back to getting ready for the damn Terrence Crawford rematch. Yes. And they said his first day back, he was hit with vigor. And they said he was, oh yes, Shalom to Thomas Hill, D1, Jeff R, my bad, and Byron King. Yep. But yeah, they said Errol was in that ring. He's getting in there trying to get the rust off. So we getting that rematch. Now, whatever weight it is at, is whatever it is. And like I said, Errol was able to make that weight a year and a half ago. And with the right push, he could do it again. And see, Terrence Crawford is trying to look through Errol Spence, just like Regis is trying to look through Jermaine Wood. I heard that too, but I couldn't confirm it. I couldn't confirm he was back with Blu-ray, but they did say they seen Earl and Blu-ray together. I can't confirm it, so I'm not going to mention it. But yeah, it has been rumors about Earl and Blu-ray. But until I can talk and confirm, I'm not going to really promote it as real until I can find out, because I don't want to, But if it is true, that's great. And then you got Juan Guzman helping out Earl as well. So helping Earl with his footwork and his lateral movement like Charlo. And then after Charlo's fight with Canelo, Charlo will also be joining the sparring team with Errol Spence this time. So Errol Spence is going to have world-class sparring, and it's rumored that Tank Davis is supposed to be helping him out too. So his world-class is supposed to be having Charlo and Tank helping him out, getting ready for the biggest fight, the Revenge Tour. Now, that first fight, it should have been Earl's biggest fight. But I'm going to tell you one thing about us as people. We may say we ready, and we might say that we take shit seriously, but the most dangerous fighter is one that's done lost everything. When you taste your first part of defeat, you see some fighters, when they taste defeat for the first time, they come back and rage on. But when you sitting there steady destroying people, beating people, and not even training hard, and just doing the bare minimum and beating people, it makes you complacent. It makes you, feel like, hey, I'm on top of the world. Like, hey, we ain't got to watch game film. We going to do our thing. We ain't got to plan. See, now Earl knows he's in a fight. Now he knows he just can't win off his willpower. Now he knows he has to go in there and he has to open up that bag. He has to go deep in that bag. He got to pull out them amateur skills. He got to pull out the skills that he was blessed with. He got to go back and bring out that Floyd Mayweather Errol Spence, that Lamont Peterson Errol Spence, that Adrian Broner knocked out with 16-ounce glove Errol Spence. That's what he got to do. Earl got to he got to be that Clubber Lane about to fight Rocky. want his chance. Exactly, young world. No matter what we say, while we still winning, Devon Wallace, Shalom. But young world, like I say, until you taste the defeat, a person can tell you anything. A person can, like, that's why I say experience is the best teacher. Like, you can tell your kids that the stove hot all day, but once they get it in blood, once they touch that stove while it's hot, that'll keep them in memory more than what you told them. So sometimes you got to experience it to know it, to live it, to learn from it, to grow from it. And Earl has learned, lived, and grow. This man has been embarrassed. He's been memes. Like, Earl didn't want to. He rather get knocked out by your Danish Ugas than people to see him with his teeth out his mouth. That's how much his pride is. And now he's a meme anyway from Terrence Crawford. So, you know, in his mind, he got to come back and he's got to beat the living shit out of Crawford. He has to erase the memories of everybody of what happened in that first fight. So, I'm going to tell you like this. Who I picked, Devin, I picked Earl in the rematch. And not because I'm an Errol Spence fan, Devin, but I picked Earl in the rematch because I picked Earl in the first fight. But Earl wasn't 100% and he didn't come to party the way the party was ready. Terrence Crawford already knew. Terrence Crawford knew that, hey, I have to bring everything, any and everything out. Earl was treating it like another fight. But now I got Earl that came back from a car accident that has his pride and everything on the line and knows if he doesn't get this, he doesn't get no get back. This is his only shot. This is his career right here. Not saying if he loses to Crawford again that his career is over, but his career with Bud is over. And as cocky and diva as Bud is, you don't want a guy like that having one over on you. Especially when you know you got the same tools and probably more tools than he has. And that's how Earl feels. And he knows it. That's why 50% of him beats all the other welterweights besides Terrence Crawford. Hey, young world, and that's exactly what I was thinking. Margarito, Cotto too. Cotto got beat by plaster gloves by Margarito. Destroyed. Annihilated. And Cotto, he trained his ass off. They told him, don't fight that man again. Cotto got back in that ring, and he busted that man up. Like, you cheated and beat me with plastic gloves? Now I'm going to get it back in blood. And Earl is a man, and he's not going to be able to sleep right unless he gets it back in blood with Terrence. And that moment when I seen him tell his son, this is when I knew it was going down. At the end of the fight, when Earl was sitting there with his son, it was just him and his son. And they had that heart-to-heart. I said, yeah, Terrence in trouble. I said, when Earl gets back at Terrence, he's in trouble. Earl's going to try to kill that man. Like, Earl's going to come with the ferocity we've never seen. He's going to try to extend that man's eye socket. Errol Spence is about to bring everything that he got. He's going to leave it in the ring. He's going to die in that ring if he has to. That's his mindset. Because he's his son's hero, and in his son's eyes, he just failed in front of his son. He may not mention it, but us as men, if you have kids, your biggest problem is losing in front of your family. Like, I have a wife and kids. I would never want to lose in front of my wife and kids. Period. If I was to ever lose in front of, knock on wood, it never happened, but if I was to ever lose in front of my wife and kids, I would have to go to the extreme. Like, I would have to take a man and his whole family out. But I'm just saying, like, that's the way my mind is. Because, you know, my wife and my kids, that's my everything. And I'm their hero. So, you know what happens to a kid once they lose their hero. And as men, we can never not be the hero for our children. And Earl is a family-oriented man, family-bound. And if you notice, Earl hasn't said nothing. It's been radio silence. And he's back in the gym officially now. Not saying he hasn't been in the gym, but now he's officially back in the gym. Still ain't saying nothing. See, last time they cut it down. They cut the training camp short 2.5 weeks, going to Vegas, chilling and looking at fights and stuff. See, he didn't take it seriously. He didn't even finish his training camp. When you have a fight like this, you leave no stone unturned. Until the week of the fight, until the day of the fight, you can be working on something. Anything. That's like studying for a big test. A test that makes up 50% of your grade. You're not going to leave nothing untouched. You're going to go over the material over and over until you believe it, until you breathe it, till you know it, until it's your ultra instinct, till you can do it without thinking. Errol Spence is going to be in that ring on ultra instinct mode. He's going to block and parry. And don't be surprised if Errol switches stances. Because, yes, Errol can also become a switch hitter as well. I've seen it in a couple fights. The Larte fight, I've seen it in the Lamont Peterson fight. He even switched and switched back against Mikey Garcia. But it was quick. But if you look at the amateurs, Errol has fought in the amateurs. Errol has fought in the conventional style as well. He prefers the southpaw because that's how he goes. But if Errol was to go orthodox, that means his power hand to be up front, his left. Like when Crawford goes southpaw. Because Crawford is not a true southpaw. He's a right-handed fighter in a southpaw stance, which gives him his strongest attribute, his strongest weapon at the forefront. That's why Crawford's able to throw a straight right at the damn same or faster than a person can shoot out a jab. Because it's right there. And to be honest, that's a hell of a weapon for Crawford. It's a hell of a weapon. And we seen what happened to Errol Spence against that weapon. He wasn't ready for it. The timing was off. See, Errol had the timing down for like a jab. He didn't have the timing down for a man's power hand. And that's how Crawford was able to get off. And hey, if they would have planned, they would have been ready for it. But they didn't. Hold on one second. Let me wrench up the people that was in here. Give me 1 second, people. Alexander Lies. Let me get you right, Alexander. Hold on 1 second. Okay, hold on 1 second. And yeah, the link's out there. Anybody want to hop up here? Anybody want to hop up here? We got the link out here. Okay. Everybody, all right, all my people wrenched up. Yep. All right. Now cut this back off. All right. Sorry about that. I just had to get my people right to come in, Had to get the family right. Yeah, D1, he got his ass whooped because that man had plaster wraps. That's why Miguel Cotto got his ass whooped. And Margarito had his hand wrapped in plaster. So when he was fighting Miguel Cotto, he was basically hitting that man with bricks. That's why it happened like that. Miguel Cotto was fighting a man with basically cast on his hand. And that turns your fist into clubs. And it makes the area, it makes your punching area that much bigger, and it makes it that much harder and stronger. So yeah, you fighting a person with weapons. You better win if you're doing that. Exactly, Shiwa. Errol Spence has a matriad of tools. Like I said, Floyd Mayweather is arguably the best defensive fighter. You could say all time. Floyd is arguably the best defensive fighter because not only did Floyd outbox and out defense fighters, Floyd Mayweather was fighting fighters that was 30 and 40 pounds heavier than him because he was fighting in welterweight and junior middleweight when his walk around weight was 145, 146. He had to gain weight to make weight. While other people are cutting 20 and 30 pounds, Floyd had to gain weight to be on par with weight. So Floyd actually did the opposite of what most fighters do. Most fighters are cutting weight so they can have the advantage over different smaller fighters. While Floyd was handicapping himself, fighting at his regular weight, while other people was cutting down to fight him. That's why I say Floyd is probably one of the all-time best because nobody else did that except for Wilder. Wilder does it. Wilder's fighting above his pay grade, like you fighting above your style, because people of your size. Obviously, Floyd Mayweather would be fighting people like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Tank Davidson if he kept with the script. Or really, he'd be in the 130 division. Because if he cuts 15 to 17 pounds, he'd be in the 130 division. But now, Floyd went after the money. He went after greatness. And that's what a lot of boxers don't do. They're not going after greatness. Like Devin and Shakur, if they was like Floyd, they'd be in 147. Because them guys blow up on fight night. But Errol Spence, he got his mind right. He's in a good place right now. Derrick James is now realizing that he might be a beast, but Derrick James is also coming in, and what he's doing, he's brought an extra set of eyes in. 2 Cent Boxing, Shalom. He has an extra set of eyes. And one thing, I don't care what nobody say, an extra set of eyes is invaluable in boxing because you might be tunnel vision or you might see something, but another pair of educated eyes will see something that you might don't see. That's what makes Bomac and them, I'm just be honest, that's what makes them great adversaries because they have 4 people. Tank about to start running to them. What do you mean, Thomas Hill? Exactly, Byron King. How you be one-dimensional when you outbox Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia, you bulldoze Ocampo, you fought Ugas the way you did, you fought Kell Brook the way you did. Like every one of Earl's fights was different styles. Exactly, D1. The more eyes is the more people that can see mistakes. Because, see, you might be focusing on something else, and somebody else might see a tick that, especially you got eyes that ain't been really working with you. Especially you got a fresh set of eyes coming in, just overall obsessing your fighter. Because, you know, Guzman never worked with Earl. But if he comes in and gives an overall different assessment, then, you know, Derrick James has been with Earl for a while, so, you know, he might be biased or he might be used to certain things that Earl does. And, you know, he like, okay, Earl done got away with this and got away with that. So it ain't really a problem. When Juan Guzman can be like, well, look, this is a telltale tick. And anybody can pick up on it and do blah, blah, blah to stop it. So, you know, that'd be great right there because it'd be fresh and it'd be a recourse. Shalom to my guy Thomas Hill on the stage. Go ahead and make it pop, big dog. Tell me what you say.
Oh man, shout out to you at Upper, man. Shout out to the platform that you got. Shout out to the people that's in the chat that's avid boxing fans and enthusiasts. I was just saying strictly, you know, it's some narratives that get pushed around. And they based off of impulse and passion and mostly emotion. Not so much fact and good sense. We got people saying that Spence, who basically earned it the hard way, taking fight after fight.
All the heavy lifting.
Going through people. They even try to slight people who said he went from 135 to 147. That wasn't true. He fought at 140 as well too. But
And he fought. They forget he fought Adrian Peterson at 143.
yeah. So it's narratives about him being flat footed, one dimensional, no skill, slow,
Can
like
I ask you a
slow.
question, brother? While you up here, can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
When he fought Danny Garcia, right?
yeah.
He was on his toes the whole fight, right?
Hmm.
He was in there. He would get in, hit Danny, and get back before Danny could throw a punch, right?
Yeah.
So how can they call that flat-footed? And Danny Garcia, that's the same one that beat Crawford, who is a world-renowned counterpuncher and boxer as well, right?
Yeah.
And then I tell him, what about Lamont Peterson, right? Earl went
Exactly.
southpaw orthodox. He was in there. He was out there. He was giving them looks, range, everything. They can't say that about that, right?
Yep.
And then when he fought Kell Brook, when he turned it up, he started outboxing Kell Brook as well as beating him on the inside and the outside.
I mean, he's outboxed every fighter that he's fought and got in the ring with. The only one he has not outboxed was the last fight that he was in the ring with Crawford, who was a
Exactly.
phenomenal fighter.
They look at the Sean Porter fight because Errol Spence decided to fight Sean Porter at his own fight.
Yeah,
Like Derek James
that was
even
the one
said,
fight. Yeah, he did fight him at his own fight.
yeah, but Derek James said, Earl said, I'm about to fight this guy. He said they threw the game plan out the window because Earl said he want to go in there, and him and Sean was personal. So
Yeah,
they went in there like 2 men and slugged it out. That was a true test of strength. A true test of strength is I stand in front of you and we throw until one of us can't throw no more. Bobbing and weaving, doing all that right there, that's boxing. That's defending yourself. A true test of strength. Like they say in Baki Hama, a true test of strength, like Kinjiro does, you stand there and you slug it out without worrying about the defense. We gonna keep thumping until one of us goes down. That is the true test of strength. And that's what they did. Earl said, we fighting. We not boxing, we about to fight. And they stood there toe to toe and they threw until one of them couldn't throw no more. 11th round, Sean Porter got his neck jacked. He put a hand down and it was the end of the fight. He couldn't recover and win no more after that. And that was Earl fighting him at his own game.
and that was
Exactly,
Earl fighting
D1.
him on top of his game. On top of that too, we're gonna take that in consideration
Because
because
they said Earl could have sat back and picked Sean Porter apart.
easily if he would have fought his
And
fight.
then,
Yeah,
and to make matters worse, Earl came off a fat camp. He didn't even have strength and conditioning. So this is Errol Spence coming off a fat camp without strength and conditioning, and he still was able to mow Sean Porter down. And see, I think that worked to Errol Spence's detriment because Errol Spence knew what him and Sean Porter went through. And this is what I tell people right here. Errol Spence knew the Sean Porter that Terrence Crawford fight was nowhere near the Sean Porter that Earl fought. And
facts,
he saw the problems that Sean Porter gave Terrence Crawford.
facts.
And Earl got complacent. I don't care what nobody say. I'm a boxer. I'm a boxing fan, and I watch the fights with a keen eye. I break down fights round by round, minute by minute. I go over it. That's just what I do because I like to see stuff like that. And when Errol Spence got up and walked out of that fight, he lost respect for Terrence Crawford as a fighter. And he felt like Terrence Crawford is not on his level because he struggled with this guy, and I beat him on a fat count. So that's why Earl was putting Terrence Crawford's resume down, and that's why they were saying what they say, because they felt like Terrence Crawford was fabricated. And that's why Terrence Crawford was able to overcome and do Earl like that, because Earl, like I said, was too complacent. He was
No,
looking past Terrence Crawford, and he paid the ultimate price. Now,
that
go ahead, bro.
no. Go ahead and say what you was gonna say.
Oh, that's why he said, I know where we messed up at. And that's why he said we got to get our lick back. Because he knows that was nowhere near his best fight. He knows that, he hadn't been able to throw a punch because he couldn't spar. So he knows he was all out of it. Like everything was against him. So he thought he could just do it, and he found out the hard way. And now he's got his radio silence down. Now he's Rocky going to fight Clubber Lane again after the first ass whooping of him being a champ. And now he ain't got nothing to say. It's straight smoke. And you know, Terrence Crawford living it up. And he might as well. He won. He the best fighter in the world right now, pound for pound. But when he gets in the ring with Errol Spence, it's gonna be the fight that we thought we was gonna see the first time. And I don't think Terrence Crawford gonna be able to stand up to the pressure. But it's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be the fight that we wanted to see that's gonna go down in history. Not the first fight, but the second fight is the one that everybody wants to see because that's the one we're going to get everybody's all. We're going to get the best of Errol. Edgar Chavez, salute, King. We're going to get the best of Errol. We're going to get Crawford at the top of his game, and we're going to see what it has to happen.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. Like, you know, he didn't probably take that fight in the vein that he should have, given the fact that he saw him struggle with Porter more so than he did. But also he wasn't able, like you said, to throw a punch, but it didn't look like he was right. Now, why he looked like he was on wobbly legs and why he looked like he didn't have no power behind his punches and he was throwing slow motion and he was disoriented, I don't know. But it clearly was not like any other fight he's been in.
You know, your body has muscle memory, right?
Yeah.
If you're not able to get in there and spar and get your muscles back right from sitting on the couch for all this time, you're not gonna build your punch power up. You know, you gotta get that back every time. Incel, salute. Yes, Incel, I said it the first time. And Incel, you know, you my guy, bro. You know, I know you defend Crawford, you know. That's why I mess with you. We have a difference of opinions, but I respect you as a man. You respect me as a man. But if you want to, brother, we can come up here and we can talk about it so you ain't got to type it all, Incel. But like I said, it is pressure. Earl didn't take him the right way, and Earl paid the price. Terrence Crawford humbled him. He beat that man.
Yeah,
and like I said, the next fight is going to be the fight that we wanted to see. They both going to leave it all in there. Because, like I said, Earl was complacent and he got exposed. I didn't take nothing away from Terrence Crawford. I said
no, you
Terrence
can't. You
Crawford
can't
got in
take
there.
anything.
No, you can't.
You
Terrence put
cannot
on
take
a sublime performance. He popped Errol Spence's ass. He taught him what for. He gave Errol Spence the lesson that Errol Spence needed. Because Errol Spence, he thought he was above everybody, and Bud humbled his ass. And now it's time for Earl to pull everything out and to show what he got. And for my guy Incel, salute with the $20 cash out. And like I said, Incel is one of the few people, like I said the other day, Incel, Timothy Stoudemire, Rick Timms, Drink More Water. Those are real Bud Crawford fans. They're not the ones that be pushing that other narrative. And they ride for their guy. So, you know, you can't do nothing but support that. But like I said, we gonna get to see the fight that we should have got the first go round. We're gonna see Bud come out there and try to cement himself as the top dog and the cement himself as the draw. Because a lot of Bud fans were upset with that win because they felt like they didn't get the real Spence out there. And if you watch the fight, you know it wasn't the Spence that we all expected. So, you know, that's what Bud really couldn't relish. It was like Spence lost, but
that's why Bud is doing what he's doing and saying what he's saying, because he know that wasn't the right Bud up in there. So he got to justify.
Bud couldn't really enjoy his win. Like, honestly, Bud really couldn't enjoy that win. Because if you notice in the fight, Bud was like, man, are you all right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Bud even asked that man in the fight, like, get yourself together. Like, he seen Earl was falling after he dropped him that first go round. And even Bud in his mind knew, man, this fighters ain't shit. And that's why he says now it's a waste of time. Because he felt like that shit was, a sparring match was easier than that shit. And in his mind, he felt like a sparring match was easier than that. And he don't want to do it over. But that's still his biggest payday. And here goes, and y'all salute my co-host right here. She's on the board right now. Key Alexandria, the co-host of Upper Echelon Boxing and Sports. Salute.
Hey, how you guys? Hey, Thomas.
What's going on, Keith?
Hey, Upper. Shout out to the chat. I got a few moments, but I wanted to hit everyone with another talking point that could possibly be stolen again. Like every time we get on here and we say some things, next thing you know, it's on other people's channels. But so, what do you guys think about this, right? I think the more I think about this, I think that Earl and his team, I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to stall this out for the simple fact that now we know that Crawford wants to go up to 168, correct? Or
Yeah.
164, something like that to fight. So once this Canelo and Charlo fight is done, we'll start to see, I'm pretty sure we're going to start to hear more and more from Bud and his team regarding, who they want and, more call outs and everything, depending on who wins. So what if that happens and instead of Earl putting in the paper that he wants to fight at 154, he can just say, hey, we're going to fight at 168, which I've been said that he needs to do. He needs to fight him at 168. He don't need to fight him at 154. I think that would be a good idea if he can just, because it's only a few more days away. And then another point that I want to make too is if Canelo or Charlo does not, because at the end of the day, this 3-fight deal that Canelo has going on, let's say Charlo wins, he's going to want a rematch. Let's say Canelo wins, Charlo's going to want a rematch. You get what I'm saying?
Charlo
So this
doesn't have the
fight,
rematch. He doesn't have the
oh,
option
he
for a
doesn't.
rematch. No, he
Okay,
doesn't have the option.
okay. So, but at the end of the day, Canelo is still locked up for a good year and a half with this 3-fight deal, right?
And Canelo's
So,
last fight on that contract is Errol Spence as well. That's why I think Bud wants that fight so bad, because Errol Spence is the last name on Canelo's contract.
okay, correct. So I think that once this fight, first of all, this fight is going to, what I'm saying, set the stage for more, what I'm saying, the other fights that's supposed to happen with this deal. And I also believe that if that once it's done, once everything is said and done, Bud will then, punch his ticket for 168. And that's when Earl can punch his ticket for 168 and say, I want the rematch at 168. There
But you
can't be
know,
anything said.
it's one thing about that beautiful key that I got to tell you about.
What's up?
Bud said if he fights Earl, it's got to be at 147. He doesn't want to fight Earl outside the 147 weight class. That's the problem. He
Yeah,
doesn't
he
want
want
to
to do
fight
a
Earl,
big
period.
match.
So he's saying if he has to fight Earl, it has to be welterweight or nothing. He doesn't want to fight Earl where Earl is on the right footing. He doesn't want Earl to have any type of tactical advantage. He said, we fought at 147. That's where the fight's going to be at. Even though he said he'd go up to fight Charlo or Tim Tszyu or Canelo, he said if he fights Earl, it's got to be at 147. That's what Bud is saying. He doesn't want Earl with the extra weight. He's already said that.
I think that I know, but I think that the optics of that will continue to look bad for
Same
Bud, and
weight.
I think that he'll probably
When has he
give
ever
in
cared
to
about
that.
optics? He said that salute Aaron Muhammad. He said that the UK fans are better than us. So you really think Bud cares about optics? Bud don't care about that.
I could
Bud.
see that being though, Upper. I'm just saying, like I'm
Oh no
thinking
no no
that
no no no!
that could be the
I'm
plan.
listening to you. I'm just saying, with other fighters, yeah, but with Bud, he's just showed us he really don't give a damn what we think. You know, Bud. But what's gonna happen though? He's gonna get the Andy Ruiz treatment and the Keith Thurman treatment. Like when they tried to get Keith Thurman to fight and he didn't want to fight in the bubble. They start freezing him out. And see, right now, people have a high expectation of Bud, and you should. I mean, they're trying to make Bud more visible. They're putting Bud everywhere, trying to give him more visibility, so they can build his name up. So anytime they got him in a fight, it'll do more numbers. But the fact that they're making Bud visible isn't making him more popular. So you can be visible and not be popular, and that's the problem. Salute 2 Cent, but yeah, just because he's being
What's up?
more
What's up?
visible, it doesn't mean he's more popular. And some of his antics are rubbing fans the wrong way as well. Bruce Gas and Boxing and Jazz, salute, King.
I don't think
It's
Bad
salute
Bud
to
really has any
everybody.
intentions on going to 168 either.
The fight Canelo, I think he does.
Yeah, I think he's serious about that. I don't think he's capping about that at all, to be
He
honest
knows
with you.
Canelo's the bag.
Because
Yeah, he's the
they're
ultimate
saying
bag.
if you want to fight Canelo, then fight Benavidez to become the mandatory. Like I don't
Now
know
he's not gonna
why
fight
Bud,
Benavidez. That's too big.
but why would Bud think he's going to go skip all of those people in line and get the
Because he
Canelo
feels
fight?
like because he beat Earl, because this is what Bud thinks, and I'm gonna tell y'all now. He felt like because he beat Earl, like I said, he wants Earl's spot. He felt like because he beat Earl, then he gets to take over Earl's spot. Eat what you kill. And everybody knows that Earl and Canelo has been the PBC's fight that they've been building for the last 5 years. Everybody knows that. I mean, you can be a casual boxing fan and know they've been trying to get Earl versus Canelo in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Even Jerry Jones knows that because that's what Jerry Jones has been trying to push. That fight is going to do millions upon millions of views in Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and it's going to sell out the whole 100,000 stadium because Canelo's a big fan base in Texas and Mexicans. Earl, you know who he is in Texas, and he has a Mexican fan base. But now Terrence Crawford felt like, okay, I beat your golden ticket, I beat your golden child, I beat Al Heyman's guy. So now that I did that, because you remember before this, they asked Terrence Crawford about Canelo, and he said Canelo too big. But now that he's gonna beat Errol Spence, he's talking about, yeah, I want the Canelo fight. Because you got to
Yeah,
realize Canelo is really a 160 fighter. That's
he
that's
also
why
saw
he
that.
fight. That's why he hasn't fought Morrell or Benavidez because he's really not up there with them in weight, and they would destroy his ass really, and
And
he
that
knows
and
this.
and that business model is also helping it too. I could get paid if I go over there and see Canelo.
Exactly, because if he fights Canelo, but what he don't realize is because he felt like because he won the negotiation against Errol Spence, you're not gonna get that with Canelo. You're gonna get a flat fee
Nah,
because
yeah,
Canelo knows
Canelo
his,
ain't.
his worth. Canelo's gonna give you a flat fee. You might get 10, maybe 15 at the most versus Canelo, but get more than that, Crawford, you're not gonna get it. But he thinks he's the A side drive because now he beat Earl.
Nah,
But
he wants to
yeah, but him
fabricate
beating
an A
Earl,
side.
he didn't get Earl's fan base. And
Not at
that's what he
all.
was thinking. He procured Earl's fan base. No, you didn't. You beat Earl. It was a great fight. You did your thing. Ain't nobody taking nothing away from you. But just because you got more eyes on you don't mean you got more fans. So you got to go out there and prove what you can do without an Earl Spence before you start with all this diva talk. Because your last fight without Top Rank did under 10,000 pay-per-view buys. Like, you made a company shut down and go bankrupt. So you wasn't. That's why Derek James said yesterday's price isn't today's price. Like, my guy, you did under 10,000 views. Like, I've done videos that's done over 10,000 views easy, and you got to realize 10,000 pay per views at $40 a pop. Come on, man, that's $400,000, bro. And then you had you made less than $1 million the entire fight with the gate and the pay per view. And you thought you were gonna get 10 million from BLK Prime. No, you put them out of business. They was put out of business
Mhm.
behind that fight for
With
the
them
12th time.
trusting him, that was a bad decision by them. They trusted him. They
Yeah,
didn't
I
see that
don't
he
know
was
why
just an
they even did
opportunist.
that. Like, who was running that to think that
because
all
they
of a
felt
sudden?
like if they got Terrence Crawford, they believed the Terrence Crawford hype, and they thought Terrence Crawford could sell. But what happened was Terrence Crawford didn't sell, and they didn't even do 100,000. If they would did like 100,000 buys, right, that'd have been 4 million. That would have covered Terrence Crawford plus the gate, right? But they had to pay Crawford and Aberdeen. That's why the undercard didn't get paid. The people on the undercard didn't get paid. They would have needed Crawford and sell you right. And you know what? Yes, Bud is a great fighter. He's not a superstar. And like I
He's a
said,
great
it's a
fighter.
lot of great fighters out there, but none of these fighters out here are superstars. The last superstar we had in boxing is Floyd Mayweather. A superstar is a star that transcends the sport. And Floyd, not even Canelo's a superstar. He's a mega star, but he's not a superstar because Canelo Alvarez does not transcend the sport of boxing like that. Like, Sugar Ray Leonard was a star, but he wasn't a superstar. Like I said, the superstars I know is Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. Those are superstars. Like those are true definitions of superstars. See, people use the words casually, and they don't really know the meaning of words. They just use it too loosely. Like Ali, Tyson, Floyd, those are superstars. And maybe Oscar De La Hoya, because at one point Oscar De La Hoya was USA boxing. Because hell, when Floyd beat Oscar, he became a superstar just off beating Oscar. So
I guess that's what Crawford was going Crawford mind, but I think if the fight were more competitive and maybe people felt like things were more on the up and up, then maybe he could have garnered some new fans. But the way the fight went, the way you out here dissing Earl, discrediting your biggest win, saying how he not a Hall of Famer and how the other guys on your resume, like it doesn't make sense to discredit your biggest win. I don't understand.
So to that talking point right there, to that talking, what makes him a Hall of Famer and what disqualifies Spence from being a Hall of Famer? I would like to know. Seriously.
I guess they want to say because he has more belts in different, basically because he has belts in different divisions.
But who has he fought?
Spence is a 3-time champion. Spence is Marvin Hagler never had 3 belts. See, people don't realize Spence is a Hall of Famer just off being a 2-time champion, but a 3? Because Keith Thurman's a Hall of Famer. You got to realize when you become a unified champion, that's something, because a lot of people don't do it. And Earl got his off of every other fighter. He didn't get no vacant belts. Crawford don't realize he got a lot of vacant belts and a lot of belts that other people want.
Exactly. And on top of that,
every belt. But Errol Spence, he's done fought legendary fighters. And if he was to stop fighting now, yeah, he'd still be a Hall of Famer. And see, Crawford messed up because Earl was his best
he fought
win.
more Hall of Famers than Crawford has.
Yeah, Earl was his best win, and he's sitting there pushing it down. Like Crawford, they put the spotlight on Crawford to get more views and to get more exposure. And I was with that, and he should have took that and ran with it. But then he started feeling himself to start acting like a diva, and then started daggone, back talking and double talking and everything right there. And that's when people stopped, feeling him like they was. And
John he's been doing that. He's just under the he's been like that. It's just that more people are watching him now and seeing him now. So I don't think he's realizing that all this contradiction and back and forth you saying, it doesn't look good, especially with all these new eyes you got on you.
Exactly. Coach Amber said it right there. This is the same man that went on IG and said he didn't believe in us. Exactly. Like, you discredit the American fan base as well. And like said that he doesn't have to cater to us because we're going to support him anyway. Like, you can't do that and expect people to support you. Like, that's like spitting in my face and telling me, wipe that shit off, you good. No, it don't work like that, my man. Like, if you don't respect the fan base, then, your fan base won't respect you. Like Sean Porter. Even though he's got all them losses, Sean Porter is a Hall of Famer because he had close fights with all them people right there. Like, he didn't get washed in the fights. Like, in every fight, he was in there. BL, salute, King. Yeah, exactly. But Tim Bradley can make it to the Hall of Fame. Of course.
Exactly.
I'm trying to figure that out. Like, look, you got
Rocky Balboa, a fictional character by Sylvester Stallone, is in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Stop
so you can't tell me Earl is not going to make the Hall of Fame.
Nah, he in the Hall of Fame, though. Real
Rocky
talk.
is in the Hall of Fame? How?
Real talk. No, real talk. He's in the Hall of Fame.
He was in the Hall of Fame like 2 years ago. After he beat Ivan Drago in Club Lane, they put Rocky in the Hall of Fame.
The story is so great that they put and that's what I'm saying. The story that they're building now with Crawford and his quote unquote like rise to like greatness and stardom, he's a great fighter and he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. If you're talking about boxing, ain't no way you can look at this boy and say he don't deserve to be based off of his skill set. And to a certain degree, his accomplishments, if you want to put a barrier on accomplishments. But like you said, it's not the material that you get.
You
Go
want me to
ahead.
tell you even
But
better Hall of
I
Fame
ain't trying
story?
to bring no conspiracy stuff to your page, but Bud is being exposed right now. So we're gonna see how this goes. I think
I'm gonna
maybe
tell you
after
an
this
even bigger,
second Spence
even
fight,
bigger,
it's gonna crash down.
even bigger movie is Earl Spence. If he beats Terrence Crawford, do you know what type of movie they can make behind Earl Spence? Everything he's went through to lose the undisputed match, then to come back and win it, and all that right there. Do
I
you
think it's
know
a movie regardless.
exactly? And like, but look, this the type of stuff like history repeats itself, right? It's nothing new under the sun.
It
If
was
you
late
believe
though.
it,
Should have came
y'all
earlier.
gotta realize it's nothing new under the sun, and history repeats itself.
That's a
Earl,
fact.
Earl Spence done went through everything, trials and tribulations. Now, history tells us that Earl's gonna get in there, win, and become a bigger. Incel Balboa will go to sleep versus Wilder. He will. Balboa like to catch fights with his head. Man, Wilder will knock Balboa ass out.
Wilder, boy, I'm telling you, anybody getting that ring going to sleep with Wilder, bro. I don't care. It's Wilder versus everybody for me. And the only way I saw him losing is being somebody they tampered with the sport of boxing in order to gain an advantage. So, and then on top of that, in those two of those fights, he was on that canvas for longer than 10 counts.
Oh yeah,
So
I did one of them. He was on there for 13 seconds. The other one he was on there for 12.6. So like, yeah, he's had his damn help. They just couldn't have Wilder beating, the Great White Height. That's the Great White Hope, just like Rocky
you good,
Balboa.
baby boy.
I know my live about to get demonetized for me saying that, but it's all right. When you got the complexion for the connection, that's what it is. And
Yeah,
Rocky
corporate.
Balboa, even though he was a fictional character, they don't have no boxer that ever do that right there. They got no boxer that ever do that right there, so it's good to make one up.
But it
And
does
hey,
show the power that narratives can carry and
yeah,
have. Because, like, it's really now people believing that the reason why Spence looked as bad as he did was because he's just flat footed, one dimensional, slow, and no power.
Well,
Come
they're about to
on.
start.
Like,
Go ahead, Thomas. Sorry.
no, go ahead. You good. You good. I always
They're about
acquiesce to
to. Okay. They're about to start painting a bad narrative about Michael J. White because I guess he came out saying that he talked a little stuff about Bud, and he also said that he had heard that something was wrong with Errol in his camp. So before the fight. So now everybody is a few people that's getting on him now for saying that as well. So that's another narrative that's about to be painted, and I think that um, the pressure of all of this, like it can do either one or two things for Bud. It can either say he can stick to his guns and say 147 or nothing, or he can just be like, okay. Another thing too that I find interesting is that prior to Bomac, which is free him all day, because I don't ever want to see a black king go through something like that,
exactly. Yeah, free
especially
it.
Bomac.
international.
Exactly.
Free
So free
Bomac.
him, but it
I
was
feel
it
like
was
they
kind
set Bomac up. I feel
of
like
yeah.
Kinahan them set Bomac up because Terrence Crawford did that fight. And Kinahan wanted to be a part of it, and he couldn't be a part of that thing. So because Kinahan was one of Terrence Crawford's advisors at one time. So you just cut Kinahan out of your biggest payday, and he can't wash his money. I think Kinahan was sending him a message. I'm just real with it.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I find it interesting that prior to him, being incarcerated, the rematch was being talked about heavy, but as soon as he, is got in that unfortunate circumstance, now all of a sudden, it's no, 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 no. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well, because I mean, come on now, I like Coach Bernie. He's an animated person, but he's no Bomac.
See, Kai, that's why I always have to acquiesce. You came up in here and brought us a little levity.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's an interesting take because it was being talked and then
I
just
missed the
got
point. Say
slow
it
and then
again.
it's
I
a
had
new
to hop off
direction.
real quick. What you say? What happened?
I said I find it interesting that since before Bomac was incarcerated, it was rematch, rematch, rematch. If he wanted, you know, he can request it, it's going to be the same. Remember, Bomac was saying that it's going to be even worse. That's what he said. And then after he was, you know, caught up, now all of a sudden it's, you know, 147 or nothing. He's making it very tough. And now he's going on talking about Errol Spence's resume and everything else, pretty much trying to diminish him as a person, as a fighter. So I find that to be kind of interesting as well. I think, even though Bernie is a great, you know, trainer, he's no Bomac. So I think that has something to do with it. It could have something to do with it.
Yeah, I feel you. But like I said, I'm gonna tell you like this, right? The fight gonna happen. And like I said, we gonna get the fight we should have seen. And see, Michael John White, they get mad at him. But that's what I say about a lot of these Bud fans that's not the real Bud fans. They're just EJ haters and PBC haters. Like, it's like you can't even state a fact or observation. It's always an excuse. You're doing this, you're doing that. When you're sitting there and saying what you're observing, and you got people like Michael John White who knows about the human body. He specializes in it. The man is a world-class martial artist, and he said that Earl wasn't right in the thing, but you forget these fans who ain't threw a punch. You got fans out here that haven't threw a punch. They ain't been in a fight. Can't break wind. Don't know nothing about training. Probably overweight. Probably out of shape. But they know more about boxing than people that actually live this thing. People that actually have boxed. And that's the crazy thing about it. You have sheep out here that feel like they know better than other people. That's like when Kanye was like, how, Sway? How? Sway, yeah, you a DJ, but Kanye, how you gonna tell Kanye about marketing clothes and all this stuff right here? That's out of your wheelhouse. You're not familiar with it. You've never done it. And that's another thing. You got these sports writers and all these people right here who are never athletic, never played sports, always been on the sideline. How can y'all say what's best for fighters if you never fought? And that's the thing that gets me. How you gonna sit there and criticize a fighter and you've never fought? Like, come on, man. Like that's
also
like Andre Ward and stuff like that. People that's actually been through the wars, who knows what it's like, that's been through the battles. Not these people that's never threw a fight, that sit behind their desk and fantasize playing Nintendo
the whole freaking lane was
Rocky
wide open.
Balboa movies, man.
And I don't want it to seem like, go ahead. Sorry, Thomas.
No. Go ahead. It's
like
on
a
you.
lot of these YouTubers are soft as shit, ain't never fought nobody, won't fight nobody, but they steady up here downgrading and talking shit about a fighter. But if you probably press up on them, they'll probably shit themselves. Like they probably fat, lazy, slow, out of shape. They just on YouTube getting paid for a dumbass opinion because they get paid by an outside source to push the narrative, and they push the narrative like sheep. And like I said, these guys are not masculine. These guys don't know what it is to be a man, to compete in a physical sport of dominance, of sport of skill, a sport of brute strength. They're not used to none of this right here. And then they want to get up here and act like they expert opinions, and they don't know shit about dodging or rolling with the shot, throwing a jab. Probably couldn't even throw 100 jabs in a row.
And I want to say too, like in no way, shape, or form am I coming down on.
No, it's not. I'm not talking about females. Females, you know, y'all get to see what y'all see. I'm talking about these guys.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not talking about you, Upper. Of course not. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying, I don't want people to think that, like I'm coming down on Bud or anything. I think Bud is a tremendous fighter. I'm very proud of the accomplishments that he's done. And everything, and whether he believes that Earl is X, Y, and Z, I would still give him his flowers and say, of course you're going to the Hall of Fame and everything else. But I think that him and my number 2 guy, Shakur Stevenson, I like Shakur, but Shakur is starting to put his foot in his mouth too, and I feel like they're on the same type of demon time with this. And
they own the same team.
Right, yes. But I'm saying like on this, but like the same demon time like this, their talking points, it's like I feel as though Shakur more so is building
Hey,
back
somebody
that
get Robert
rivalry.
LL. Hold on. Somebody get Robert LLC the hell up out of here. We're not gonna be talking about BFTV up in here, buddy. If you got a problem with BFTV, you go say it. You over there with World Comeback Sports. We don't do that shit here. Me and BFTV ain't got no problems. We're not gonna do that over here. Somebody put the foot on that nigga ass, bro. Get him up out of here.
Always trolling BFTB, you goofy. Beat it. What up, y'all? You hear me?
Hey, how are you?
Thomas Hill, what up? Kai, 2 cents. Upper, what's happening?
What up? Hey, what do you think about the glove allegations that's going around?
See, I don't like getting into that because if they didn't prove it right then and there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like, because they could have easily got the gloves right then. You feel me?
Yeah, you seen how Derek went over there and touched him.
I know, but if you felt like something, you could have caused the stink about the situation. You feel what I'm saying? If you let it go on, then hey, it must not have been too bad. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
If you just beat my fight and I think something wrong with the gloves, then you go pop the gloves off and let me see something.
Yeah, I would have snatched the gloves
Yeah,
too.
we gonna see something.
I think them gloves are tampered with. The thumb piece that holds you from opening it is always cut on Buds. Buds is the only person you see he can keep his hand fully straight, and it's always his right hand. It's the piece that connects the thumb to the bottom part of the mitt, so you can't keep more than a cup fist in a glove. Them shits is tampered with, especially Everlast. You gotta cut that joint for it to break. I could show some gloves right now. That shit is the hardest part to break.
1 second, D1. Salute to my guy, King Asian Mav. Long time no see, OG. Salute. All right, go ahead, D1. That's my guy.
Hey, shout out to D1. How you doing, D1?
I'm just, what's up? I'm just saying, man, that shit's suspicious as hell. You see how funny his glove looks when it's straight out like that? You don't see other fighters be able to fully extend their hand like his.
Point. Yeah, it was looking like it was almost pointed too.
Yeah, well,
it did.
That
But
piece is supposed to be there though. That point.
I was looking at the Avenesian fight, right? I was like, okay, I've never seen Wilder or the Hulk, Julian Williams, none of them people bust no gloves.
Yeah, bust out some Everlast, the best made gloves on the planet. It don't happen like that. They flip that to cut the hair.
I was like, they was testing some shit out for the Earl fight. That's what I was thinking.
Hey, shout out to D1 for getting up on the panel though.
I was like, they was testing something.
You know what's up when I got some
I felt
time
like
too.
they didn't do nothing about it, so I said that's when I left it alone. But you know, for now, it was hollering glove gate before the whole fight started. But
yeah, them joints look like they've been through a rock tumbler.
It's just really eerily similar to Wilder.
You don't.
See, that's why you gotta have people in position. You gotta have people in position that's gonna make sure all that shit is taken care of. Like,
but he might have agreed to not check that stuff though. That's the thing.
It ain't no agree to not check it because when Floyd was fighting Madonna,
he had his hands behind his back.
You know, Ellaby was like, hell no, he ain't using them gloves. And you know, you gotta have people in position. But like I said,
and he didn't take them off.
Like I said, Earl felt like he was leagues above Terrence. That's what I've been saying the whole time. See, he took the man lightly. He felt like he was leagues above them. And see, gloves, when you boxing in a match, gloves are not even supposed to be open. They're supposed to be coming straight from the company in the package. You're supposed to open it right then and there. You're not supposed to have no open gloves.
Brand new 8s they're supposed to be in. Look at Errol's glove in the same fight. Them are both brand new 8s. Errol can't open his hand all the way in his gloves. Terrence can because the piece that holds the bottom of the mitt down is broken, and it's only on his right hand. And in the Avenesian fight, same thing. And before the 6th round started, he had his hands behind his fucking back, like hiding the rips, and right where the rips were, that's where you would cut it to pull the horsehair out of the glove to make it less it's straight knuckles.
Oh, that makes sense.
I got thousands of pairs of gloves in my basement. Them shits don't get worn out like that. You can hit heavy bags for months and months and months, and the gloves don't rip at the seams. They don't bust the thumb piece. That shit is tampered with.
So are
Especially
you
Everlast.
saying?
Best made gloves on the planet.
So D1,
Yeah, everlasting.
are you saying that the gloves that were utilized on that fight with Earl, that it was something fishy going on?
I think somebody grabs a pair of scissors after his hands get in them gloves and he's doing mitt work. They slit the right hand so he can fully extend it. There's so many pluses to have that strap cut and have a full open hand. You could catch parry shots better. Being able to have your hand fully open in a boxing match, you can grab arms, you can jockey position. There's so much more than just punching with the glove. Having the web cut, you got a full open hand. It's so you can trap, you know what I mean? You can pin their arms. You can do so much more with that piece cut. And it happens to him almost every fight. The shit's starting to add up. Lay with a dog, you get fleas.
Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with that piece
Yo,
cut.
an open hand, I'll whip your ass way easier with my hand not being cupped, being able to open my mitt and pin your arm to your chest, jockey position, parry shots. It's way easier with a wide open right hand, and that's what handed he is. They'll say, "Oh, we busted it in the fight." And try to, you know what I mean? There's nothing they can say that, oh, you cut it, unless they examine the gloves, have like a scientist or some shit, forensic, look at the
Yeah.
gloves, see if they were cut or ripped. I'm telling you, bro, the shit goes
Yeah,
that
no,
deep.
you're right. You're right.
It's crazy, bro. Like you can, if I have an open hand, I'm pinning your arm up against your chest and smashing with the other. I'm grabbing you by the neck. I'm pushing you. I'm getting dirty as hell in there. That piece in the glove, it's an important piece. That's why it's there. It's part of the rules. You're only supposed to have a cupped hand. You can't have a fully extended hand. It's cheating.
And you know, in them Fury fights, he be having extended hands too.
Oh, Fury Ricky
always fucks
Hatton
with his
pulled the
glove.
glove off for him. He put his fist into the palm of the glove and was smashing Wilder with a regular fist. That was
Yep.
a
And it was an
joke.
egg weight in it.
No, there wasn't no egg weight. There's a hole in the palm of the glove so your
That
hands
was a
don't
knuckle
sweat.
he was hitting
They
Wilder
they
with.
pulled his hand out of the mitt so he can get his knuckles into the open part and smash
That's
Wilder
why you see
and
that
get more
bend.
length
That's why you see
too.
that bend at the wrist, because he
That
was
shit was
punching
flopping
Wilder.
in the wind, bro. It's
He was
crazy.
he
Like
was punching
Yeah, it was
Wilder with the
flapping.
wrist part.
Yeah.
Like he was punching
If you
Wilder with the
never
wrist
watched
part.
boxing before, you would have thought his wrist was broken, just flopping around like a gyro. You can't do that. Ricky
I thought
Hatton,
his
you
fist
go
was
back and
broken.
watch
I
it.
said,
Ricky
damn, he
Hatton
broke.
pulls it off his hand.
I said,
Ricky
damn,
Hatton,
I said he broke his damn wrist in the fight. And then I
straight
seen him
up, dude,
still
that shit was
going.
crazy.
And then
Flopping
I
that
seen him still
glove in
fighting.
his
I said,
face.
damn, this nigga fighting through a broke wrist.
Yo, straight up, that was crazy. I'm surprised he wasn't brought up on assault charges. Ricky
I mean,
Hatton included.
it was against Deontay Wilder, though.
Yep, dude. He did it in other fights too. Like he
I
pulled
He
the
don't
did
want
it
to.
in
glove.
all 3 fights.
Like
It's
you can
just
go
the
back. I
third
think it's
fight he
in between
perfected it.
rounds 6 and 7 where Ricky Hatton puts it underneath his armpit and Tyson Fury pulls his hand out of the glove. And then when he comes back after that round, they put it back on. And then when he wanted it, they did it again. And he's just slamming him with bare knuckle fighting through that.
That's why
The piece
Deontay
in
got
that
that
palm.
dent. That's why he got that dent in his
Yeah,
damn.
bro. That's from a knuckle. That's from a taped wrap knuckle getting bounced off your head. And that's why he thought it was an egg weight, because it probably
Spence
felt like
also
one.
had dents in his head too.
Straight up. Listen,
Okay,
that fight was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Anybody with 2 eyes, watch 8, 9, and 10 of that fight. Fury's glove is flopping in the wind. How don't they stop it? What was Jack Reese doing? You got to be able to see that.
He was
Reese
slinking it, but he
Fighting
was
through a pit. Yeah, it
slinking
looked like
it.
a slinky, just flopping around. Like what's this man? Got triple joints? Come on, man.
He was
That shit was
flicking it.
BS.
Like he was literally
Yeah.
just throwing his hand
Yeah.
out there flicking
Oddities.
it.
And
Hold on,
glove
listen.
cheats
Oddities
are
don't.
worse than steroid cheats
Here
to
go
me,
Coach Amber
because
with the
that bare
$5.
knuckle.
Hold on. $5 super chat from Coach Amber. She say, brand new out the bag gloves hurt to use. They have to be broken in, hands sore as hell from the hardness afterwards. Hell yeah, it's like
No
punching
doubt
with
about it.
brass knuckles in your hands. Like that shit messes. That's why you got to tape your hands up real good, because if not, that damn
But
glove will abrade your knuckles, and that shit hurts.
at the same time, Coach Amber, them shits have to be brand new 8s out of the bag. Never hit a bag. You can't break them in before the fight. They have
So
to
that's
be
what
brand new.
She said brand new
That's what I'm
gloves hurt
saying.
when you use them.
They do. They hurt bad.
Yeah, they cut your knuckles up and everything. That's why you gotta take your hand up. You gotta take it up good.
That's why you seen Devin Haney. Like, I'm not Devin's not a cheater at all, but I'm saying, you see how hard it was for him to get his hand into that brand new 8 in the Loma fight. That's how you want them joints, small as can be. Get your hand in there. They'll wear into about the 4th. Fighters run on so much adrenaline, that shit don't matter until after the fight.
That's why you see some fighters throw a lot of punches. They throw a lot of punches to try to loosen them things
breaking them joints in, and that's why they're always hitting pads and getting them loose before the fight.
And that's why if you see in the later rounds, then they start teeing off. After they done do a whole bunch of punches early, they start teeing off because now you got them gloves to the way you like it. Yep. Now you can start teeing off and not hurting yourself. Hell no, the pad to cut your knuckles. That's why you got to have that good tape. But once you get it the way you want it, once you start throwing enough shots and you get that damn pad the way you need it, you can start teeing off on somebody. Because brand new gloves, once you got them broke in, you can start teeing off like hell. And the glove will cut the opponent. And if you twist your wrist, as you land, that's how you bust open the cut. That's how you cut a person open, bust open the skin. On the point, see, a lot of people don't realize, though, when you throw a punch at somebody, as you close your hand on impact and twist your wrist as you close on impact, usually you can bust the skin open. It's gonna cause a cut. Yeah, just that little twist of the wrist. Because the glove will cut them.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate here, because I can't attest to the gloves or this other talk that's going on around, but I don't want to put that on a fighter of his magnitude, right? So unless it's been proven, and so far it still hasn't been proven, it's all speculation.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
I know you didn't. I know none of you guys did, but I want to say, okay, so remember in the fight during the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round when Earl was stepped to Bud and he was shell up. So a lot of this, when I went back and watched some of Derek James fights, especially the one where he got whooped in, he does that same defense where he shells up, he puts his he puts both his hands up, and then it's a peekaboo style. And dude was catching him every time he did that. He kept catching him, put Derek down. Earl did the same thing against Bud. You see what I'm saying? And Bud just kept timing him. And I think that for the adjustments, I think that it would need to be more of a better defense, number one. And number two, he would need to meet Bud with counter punches when Bud is on the attack to punch him with his offense. And then not to mention when Bud started making Earl go backwards, and this is why I've said it previously, the art of fighting backwards and being able to do that, it's only very few fighters that's been able to do that.
Very few.
And very few. And so, but Earl cannot do that. We can all agree. Earl has a little bit of a difficult time doing that. And so Bud was able to capitalize off of that as well.
Well, he did it against Danny Garcia, though. He did it against Danny Garcia.
I don't think it was, but Danny Garcia is not Bud Crawford.
I know. One second. I'm gonna let you finish. But okay. Shawar Allah say everyone watch the glove check Sparkle Lee does. The glove has little padding over the knuckles, and she knew. All right, go ahead.
And I just think that those are some adjustments that Earl, whether it's at 147, 154, my wish weight, I'm still holding on to the fact of 168. I think that those are the adjustments that Earl is going to have to make this a competitive fight against Floyd. What do you guys think about that?
I think he can't box.
I think Earl needs to come in as Earl, at least 85% or better.
Fight. No boxing. Fight. No boxing.
But
can't do nothing with Bud.
That with the second round, with the fighting.
Yeah, but he already got.
Earl just need to fight. Earl needs to fight the way Earl fights. Earl need to come in there. He need to get it. He got to get going. Start hitting Bud early and often. Start letting him feel your power. Let him feel your dominance. Bud can't take shots. That's one thing about Bud. He cannot take shots. You got to get him frustrated. He was too comfortable. You got to get him out of his comfort zone. And I say,
what makes you think that he can't take shots ever?
I've watched I've watched David. I mean, I've watched David Benavidez. I mean, Jose Benavidez hit Bud with body shots in the 3rd round, lift him up out the ring twice in the last 30 seconds. Body shots. I've seen Mean Machine put him down with a right hook. I've seen Gamboa rock him. Bud does not have he has a fickle chin. And he doesn't like to get hit in the body. I've seen it.
I think ring rust is real.
You hit it at an angle.
Y'all don't remember the Jose Benavidez fight when he was lifting Bud up off the ring with the punches?
Yeah, but the Bud fans will say Jose Benavidez is better than Spence.
Oh, they are waving that flag too, Spence. Yes, you are right, Queen.
But they forget that Errol Spence demolished Jose Benavidez when he was a top prospect when he had both his legs. It's a video of it.
You can't come in a fight 16 months layoff and think you're going to fight one of the best fighters on planet Earth. He got hit in the second with that shot, and it was over from then. His feet were gone. He couldn't move out the way. He was in quicksand. His body shots weren't doing nothing. Once your equilibrium is choppy in a fight, it's over.
And see, that's what I be telling people.
Dog of all dogs to make that fight go into the 9th. And that's what made Bud look so good. It was Errol's worst night and Bud's best night.
And that's why I tell people
nothing like that.
But if you say that one more time, D1, even on his worst night and taking that much punishment, that dude still stood strong. And still won.
I think that's that they were going to have to carry Earl out on a stretcher.
I'm listening.
You get discussion in football, right?
You're going in and out. Up
yeah, you cracking up, champ.
All right, what about now?
You good?
Okay, in football, if you get a concussion, they put you on concussion protocol. You don't even get to play the week after. They make you wait about 2 weeks. When you boxing, you in there by yourself. If you get a concussion, you have to fight through that. And a concussion can last more than a day. So for Earl to sit in there and keep fighting after that concussion that he got to the side of his head, that was a testament of what Earl could really do as a man. He fought off will because all he was a target practice after that concussion. He was a target practice.
Yeah.
But
and if
I really feel like Earl can go orthodox and have his straight left right there to counter Bud.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's what I think he should do. And when I say that to people, honestly, I thought that's what he was gonna do in this fight. Like how he countered Danny, how he dogged with Porter. I thought he was gonna switch and fight Crawford orthodox.
But one thing I can say about Crawford was smart because if y'all watch when the fight got started early, Crawford took aim. He knew where he wanted to hit Earl at.
Errol struggles with southpaws.
He let them shots early. And all his shots was to right there behind Errol's ear, to the equilibrium. He knew he had to get Earl off balance, and he took him out.
Hey, one was almost to the back. One was to the back of the ear.
That was the second one.
Yeah,
I mean, in the second
right
round,
on the ear. Second round.
He hit him with elbows too behind the neck, behind the ear. Hit him with an elbow clean, right behind that neck and ear.
Once he hit him behind his ear in the second round, the fight was over.
Your equilibrium right behind your ear.
Got back traction. He never got traction back in his legs because his equilibrium was off. And once if you look it up, your equilibrium, once your equilibrium gets rattled, it can take hours before your shit get back together. And then
Earl looked like a white boy on the dance floor.
So he's taking shots and it's still rattling it around. Each time he get hit, it's getting rattled around. He's not gonna be able to recover.
Yep, and you're just going off instinct at that point. Your equilibrium shot hit his feet. You could tell he can't get out the way. Derek's like, just fight. He can't step to the side.
To the body, to the chest, the shoulder.
He was all off after the second round. That changed the whole fight.
He was on skates. On skates after that.
Yep. He looked like
but the cutting open of the face though, I still can't get over that, dog. I don't understand how he got cut open so badly.
The nose.
I've never seen Earl cut
that jab without the horsehair in the glove, boy. He was tuning him up with that jab.
It was
joint open. Wow. That's his good hand. He's right-handed. He's not a southpaw.
Yeah, he didn't throw no jabs. He threw straight rights the whole night.
Yeah, them are straight rights. You know what I mean? He's changing, and Bud is a tough fighter to fight. You ain't gonna box with him, man. You gotta just go in there, be in good shape, and fight. And if Errol didn't have no sparring and all the camp shit is true, this is gonna be a whole different story. He's gonna go in there, round one, Hagler Hearn shit, and it's a fight. We're not boxing. We already tried that. We're fighting. That's how I think it's gonna go.
Earl's about to get in 24 rounds of sparring this training camp. He's gonna be training for 24 rounds of sparring.
And it would cost a shit ton of money, but Tank would be the one to help you. You know
Earl
what I
will
mean?
be the best
Best
shape of his
southpaw on
life
the
before
planet.
the fight. And Earl's gonna come out there, he's gonna make it a dog fight. They gonna go out there, they gonna get real greasy with it.
Yep, real fast. Maybe a round.
Earl realized that he couldn't contend with Bud. That's why he tried to rush Bud. That's why if y'all seen it, Earl tried to rush him and trying to rough him up because he knew he was on skates and he couldn't box with the man. Yep. That's why Earl tried to rush in there, and that's when Bud was like, "Look at these little bullshit shots." You feel me? Because Earl's equilibrium was off, so Earl was just throwing the shots from the arms. He wasn't putting no hips or nothing in it.
No legs, nothing.
You can't feel your foundation when your equilibrium's off. Your power comes from your legs, and once your legs are gone, your shots have nothing on them. I never seen Errol Spence throw such weak body shots and weak shots because his timing was off, and it was due to Crawford hitting him with a counter punch, and that's boxing, but.
That's probably the worst fight Errol has had his whole entire life.
Right. But the thing is, I think really too, is that, and I don't want to make this seem like an excuse, but I think that due to the weight, and I know that that's like the cliche and don't nobody want to, a lot of people don't want to hear that. He did sign on a dotted line. He did not make any excuses. But at the same time, if what I'm hearing is true, if he wasn't able to spar, this was fully a fat camp. Because let's not forget, both of them didn't make weight prior to that fight. Both of them did not make weight. Both of them had to lose an additional 1 or 2 pounds.
I heard
so
right here on upper.
Right. So then, what I'm saying is, with them fight, with Errol, with him being, with his weight, that's why his eyes puffed up. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Because we can look at within 48 hours when he went to Spain with his wife, he didn't look nothing like he looked the night before. You know what I'm saying? Like he looked a total different person. He looked back normal. He looked back healthy. So
but y'all notice, right? Y'all notice even when Earl got cut, you see his blood. He was so dehydrated. You see his blood didn't run like that.
It looked weird and a weird color.
I think that, and I'm not trying to take away from Bud's power because I know Bud packs a punch. You know what I'm saying? He had 10 knockouts before he fought Earl. Okay, so I'm not trying to say that. I mean, 10 KOs. I'm sorry, before he fought Spence. But at the same time, just the puffiness, how he was moving when Derek James, when he was talking to him in the corner, telling him he needs to start going lateral. Spence said, I'm trying. But we know that he can do it because he did lateral movement with Danny Garcia. I seen it with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? I just think that the slowness, and we know that at the drop of a dime, Spence can make adjustments without having to get the instruction from Derek James. So I think that a lot of it was just sluggishness, to be honest.
And when you get your equilibrium knocked out and your energy zapped, like you feel like you're in quicksand, and I can see he was in quicksand. You feel like you're fighting against water. And anybody ever been drained and been at football practice or in a ring, they know exactly what I'm talking about. You're telling your body to do something. It's not doing it. What up, Rick Timms? True Butt Crawford supporter right there. Rick Timms, a real one.
Yeah, Rick Timms, real as they come.
And me and Upper had pointed that out too, after the fight, when he got hit the second time, when Bud was on the ropes. I think it was in the second where he got hit behind the ear. I think that's what really sparked it. That's what really just catapulted.
Yeah, and then but Bud's a great fighter. I can't take nothing away from him, but anybody with 2 eyes can see that wasn't 100% Errol. regardless to what the excuse was, I want to see it again. I'll pay my hard-earned money to see it again, and I'd rather see it at 54, just like any real.
I feel
Bud
like the
Crawford
second fight
fan.
might do better than the first fight, though.
That's tough for me to say. I know they
A
got
lot of
my
people saying
agent
they
out
won't.
there. You know
A
what I mean?
lot of people saying they won't
My
buy it,
agent
but a lot of people gonna want to buy it just to see if Earl look different. Watch.
got to. Earl's a dog. You can't count that guy out of nothing. And they don't. If they're saying they don't want to see the rematch, it's because they kind of know that what if Bud has his worst night and Errol has his best?
Exactly.
This is boxing. This
Then
is the
Crawford's
fight
never fighting again.
You need to have everything go right all the way up until camp, until fight
It
night,
only takes one
and then
punch
go
to
right
change
in
the
the ring.
dynamic of a fight. Look at Evan Holyfield. Evander Holyfield's son.
Yeah, knocked out.
He was a minus 10,000 favorite.
Knocked out.
He was a minus 10,000 people. The dude was a plus 1,000. He got knocked out by a truck driver.
Literally.
One punch can change the dynamic of the fight.
Wow.
He got knocked out by a real truck driver, a dude that drives trucks on his off time.
Straight up. He probably had a couple fares after the fight, too.
He probably had to go make another run after the fight because he got like 5,000 for the Holyfield fight. And that was his biggest payday. And he knocked Holyfield out.
Yo, this is a fight game. Anything can go wrong at any time.
It takes one punch.
One punch.
That's the best thing. That's the thing about boxing. That's why I say when they say fighters don't have an IQ, fighters have great IQs because it only takes one punch to end your night.
So they do.
It takes 15 pounds of pressure to rattle your brain.
8.
If you get hit the wrong way with 15 pounds of pressure, you will get instantly knocked out. So a boxer has to be able to negotiate that while they in the fight. They have to make sure they don't get hit a certain way that will rattle and instant shock them. So see, a boxer has IQ if he's in that damn ring and he's fighting professionally. Because, like I said, it takes 15 pounds of pressure to knock a person out. So you got to be able to dodge, evade, and roll with them shots. So one clean shot will take you up out of there.
8 pounds of pressure and make you forget your name. Straight up. The right spot on your chin, 8 pounds of pressure breaks a fiber in your equilibrium and sends you good night.
To the other realm.
It's your body's defense mechanism. It's telling you, all right, we just got into some shit. Time to go to sleep.
I could put my hand 3 inches away from a person and clip him on his chin and put his ass out. Just off me extending my arm. Boom. Just right there on the side of that chin. I can knock a motherfucker out with 15 pounds of pressure easily. And a motherfucker would feel like he got hit with a Mack truck.
Hey, in this build right here, I want to shout out to Queens for coming out here and holding it down. We got Ty Salazar. We got 2-6 boxing. They over here holding it down.
All the ladies, female fight fans, my favorite because they're the only ones with logic that ain't blinded by the light. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't be putting all the emotion in it. I like that about that.
And see, this is really the only time when females use logical emotion. I hate to see it. But in fighting, they're more logical than us guys in fight.
They do, because they just look at what they see and they just speak on what they see.
Well, it's a female's intuition to tell men how it really went and how it really goes. You know what I mean? I've been married for 22 years.
Like Coach Amber said, these fighters be hitting the punch machine at 700 pounds PSI.
Straight up.
You got some wind in your phone. We can't understand.
My bad. I'm about to mute it. My bad. I'm walking my dogs.
At my best, I've hit the boxing bag at 905 at my best. But my average would be like 785, 815. But at my best, I've hit it at 905.
Oh, hell no.
You got to take
927 for me. 927. But I know leverage, so you know what I mean?
I'm 6'3", 250 now, so I can hit it hard, but I can do it with both hands though. But like I said, because I was a left-handed, but when I was younger, they taught me to use my right hand because I'm old. I'm in my 40s. They say left hand's evil, so I had to work my right hand. So that's how I was able.
That's why they don't like them true southpaws. You can never look good with a true southpaw when that backhand is their strong hand. It's it's a problem. A lot of these kids, they're not real southpaws. Like Shakur, right-handed. They're not. Tank is left-handed. That left hand from La La Land straight to center line is an advantage just off of stance. It matters.
Oh yeah, it matters.
Yo, I'm walking my dogs. I'm gonna slide out, man. It's
Hey,
always great
D1,
talking
D1,
to
what type
all
of
y'all.
dogs you got?
I
What type
got
of
two.
dogs you got?
I got Australian Shepherds, Maltese. They're gray, black, and white. You know what I mean? They look like hyenas. I got a pocket and a big one, Doctor Evil and Mini Me. They look identical,
My God.
Australian Shepherds, man. Yo, it's great to talk to you all, and y'all my boxing
Always,
family. Every day, all day, we talking shit. Peace and blessings. Love to
peace,
everyone.
one. Always great to have you up here, brother. Always great to have you up here.
One
Man, it
chance,
was a
one.
pleasure, D1, man.
No doubt, no
Yeah,
doubt. Peace
Rod
and
Walker.
blessings.
Yeah, Rod Walker. I feel like we're not gonna get shitted on this next fight. I feel like, Earl's gonna come prepared to fight. Whether Earl wins or lose, we're gonna get a historical fight on our hands. Like, to be honest, EJ, he cheated us as fans because he took a fight knowing that he wasn't 100%, but he already missed that Manny Pacquiao bag. He was willing to fight Manny Pacquiao and lose his eye. So, this man was thinking about his biggest payday. I mean, I can respect that. All the things he put in boxing, and if he would try to push that date back, we might not have never got that Crawford fight. So Earl was like, win, lose, or draw, I'm getting in that ring and getting my paycheck. Earl got his paycheck. Crawford got his paycheck. Now that they both got paid, now it's to go out here and get the fans what we want, that fight that we need. I want Earl in that 100%. I want Crawford in that 100%, and I want to see who is the best. Let's see who it
That's
is.
all I want. That's
That's
all I
all.
want to.
I fuck with Earl, but if Crawford beats Earl, he's just a better man. Just like
Man.
Vernon Forrester used to beat the hell out of Sugar Shane Mosley, beat him twice.
Hey, you speaking to my soul right now.
But guess what? Mayorga beat Vernon Forrester twice. And
Beat
then
his tail twice.
Sugar Shane beat Mayorga twice. Like, he couldn't beat Vernon Forrester couldn't beat Mayorga, but he could beat Shane. Shane couldn't beat Forrester, but he could beat Mayorga. Mayorga couldn't beat Shane, but he could beat Forrester. It was a real triangle effect. And see, maybe Crawford got Earl's number. Maybe he's built just to beat Earl. But what if he's not? What if Earl comes back and brings that thigh out and gives us what he wants? $5 super chat from Coach Amber. A lot of coaches don't know how to train lefties, so they switch them to right. I personally love lefties because they can throw wicked combos that righties can't. Yes. Exactly, Coach Amber. I love that. And Rod Walker, I got Jamel for the late stoppage. A lot of people talk about, man, Canelo don't never get stopped. Canelo this, that. And I'm gonna explain to you why. I got Mills stopping Canelo to the body. Y'all have never really seen Canelo take the body work. Canelo body doesn't be like it should be. Canelo, you're not knocking him out from the chin. Canelo has a chin of iron. He's done took shots from Triple G. He's done took shots to the head. Canelo is not going down from a headshot. But I've also seen Triple G hit him with a body shot that rocked his world. Like, Canelo does not like to get hit in the body. And one thing Jermell Charlo can do is work the body. He's a body snatcher. He's from the Derrick James school of breaking the body down. And we already know that Canelo Alvarez gasses out in fights. And one thing that happened that's the worst thing possible is for you to be gassed out and get body shots, because body shots will make you gas that much quicker. And if Jermell Charlo, he's going to set traps. He's going to use lateral movement. We seen how Caleb Plant frustrated Canelo Alvarez for over 11 rounds with that lateral movement. And Canelo was getting tired chasing Plant. He's going to chase Jermell Charlo, and Jermell Charlo has power in both hands. And he has a real great jab. So Canelo's going to be taking shots. He's going to be taking bombs, and he's going to be walking through the fire. And Canelo's going to try to get it over with early, and he's going to end up punching himself out. And like I said, after round 5 and 6, you're going to see Jermell Charlo just start abusing Canelo. People think I'm bullcrapping, but watch what I say. Remember, you heard it on Upper Echelon. After the 5th, 6th round, he's going to start abusing Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo's going to start abusing him. He's going to start working that body. and he's going to use the lateral movement, and Canelo's going to get frustrated. Y'all remember he got frustrated versus Bivol and tried to wrestle him. Like, I'm telling you, Jamil Charlo's in the best shape I've ever seen him. And Jamil Charlo's
Yeah,
going to have
that's
the,
a fact.
and he's going to have the speed advantage because he's not coming in at 168. He'll be about 162, 163. And Jamil Charlo didn't have to gain extra weight because he fights at 154. On weight nights, Jamil comes in around 165. So Jamil Charlo, he doesn't have to do that last week of training, of cutting down all that water weight. So he's gonna be nice and strong and full when he get ready to fight. And he's gonna get in there. Yeah, Thomas Hill, bro, anytime, brother, anytime. You know y'all always welcome. Everybody's welcome up here. The link out there now if anybody else want to jump up.
I think that
But Jamil Charlo's gonna come out there. He's gonna come out there and he's gonna do a master class performance. Like you're gonna see the best, and you know, Jamil Charlo has a lot to prove. He's the only undisputed guy they didn't put on the pound for pound list. The man cleared a tough division. He cleared a tough division. And the crazy part about it, they don't give him no respect because he was wild in the way he talks to reporters. Jamil Charlo wins this fight right here. They have to give him his flowers. He has to get his respect. And so he's going out there to get his respect. He's going to get his respect. And he's going to do it in a dramatic fashion. People don't realize Jamil Charlo gets better every fight he gets in. The mistakes that he made early in his career, he don't make them in each fight. What he did in the Tony Harrison one, he didn't do it in part two. What he did in Castano one, he fixed it in part two. And you got to realize he's coming off that high. And people say he's on a long layoff. No, he ain't. He's used to fighting one time a year. He's 4 months removed from the last time that he fought. So really, he's only 4 months extra right now, extra training camp. So I feel like that layoff's not going to bother him because, you know, he fought once a year twice. So I feel like he's only 4 months off from when he's supposed to fight. So it's going to be a hell of a fight, and people going to be shocked. And I think he's going to shock the world. And he's going to prove something to his brother because he said his brother hoping that he lose. So that chip right there also is going to be another thing. Jamil Charlo's coming to his payday because if he wins this fight, he's guaranteed a rematch. And if you guarantee the rematch, you guarantee generational wealth. He's already getting it with this fight right here. But a rematch, Charlo could retire after that fight. Never have to fight again. His kids don't have to worry about nothing the rest of their life. Or their kids. So I feel like Jamil about to go out there and do it for him, his family, for his legacy, and to get his respect. 2-time undisputed, knocked out Canelo.
And if you look, if people are looking at his their All Access, and shout out to Showtime, I love their All Access. They really be doing their thing on that. But he's very, from what I've gathered so far, he's very calm. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's not an added on pressure, which can be argued that it should be pressure there because your homeboy just had the worst fight of his life. And he succumbed to a better fighter. You know what I'm saying? With Bud Crawford. You have your brother out here. You know, a lot of stuff happened. I mean, it was a lot of stuff that happened to the Lions. The Lions then that night, that day. You feel me? And so the way how calm he is with handling everything, you saw the work that he's getting on his broken hand. You saw just everything, like even his body shape, his form. You know what I'm saying? Like he just looks great right now. And I would not be surprised of the upset. But one thing that I do want to say is Jamil has to come in with the mindset of he is already down 6 rounds with Canelo. He has to come in with that mindset. So I'm hoping that he's able to impose his will on Canelo. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an upset. But one thing I will say is that so far, this has been a boxer puncher's year, and Vegas technically still hasn't lost with these odds this year. So
they lost with the Navarrete fight. They lost with the Navarrete fight.
Oh, but anybody could have seen that with Navarrete. I don't even you mean what Navarrete and Valdez?
Hey, Rick Timms, you wrong about that. Maul, hold on 1 second. Maul did say something about Jamil losing though. He did say that. Rick Timms. And that's why Mel came out and said it. Because Maul kind of let it slip on one of them lives that Mel took his fight and everything. So Maul did kind of let it come out. Maul was hating one day when he was on there inebriated. But
Man, Maul took his own fight. You the one that been messing around these last 2 years and going through this and going through that. You wasn't nowhere near ready to fight Canelo right now. That'd have been ridiculous. Coming in after a 2-year layoff, even when they announced it and people were saying it's Jamal, I'm like, what? Who wants to see that? This man need a tune-up or something.
Jamil, he done reached that final level. And when you reach that final level, all you is calm, because you know it's the calm before the storm. You know what you're going to do. Jamel's in a great place right now. His mind is focused. He knows what he has to go out there and do, and he knows he can accomplish it. He knows the only person that can beat him is himself. He knows that he has everything Canelo has and more. He has Canelo in speed, power, and stamina. He has him in mobility. The only thing Canelo got that's better than Jermell Charlo is the name. And Jermell Charlo has a chance to go out there and do this now. If people look at it logically, and you take away Canelo Alvarez's name, and you put a fighter A versus fighter B, you would have to choose Jermell. Yeah, I've seen that one too, Rick. But I'm talking about that night. I'm talking about that night when he was up there messed up after him and Mel had gotten that fight. Like, him and Mel had almost gotten a fight after Mel's wife beat up his wife. And, Jamal was kind of non-committed about it. And he was like, well, I got Canelo next. And, alluding to the fact that his brother was going to lose. And alluding to the fact that his brother stole his fight. But, yeah, he said he didn't think his brother can do it. Now I ain't saying
that was the right choice.
I'm not saying I hope you lose, but if you my brother, you're not supposed to say you don't think I can do it either. You're supposed to have all faith in me. But maybe he was just speaking logically, or But that's when Jermell came out and said, "My own brother don't want me to win." But hey.
But I think so too. I think that where we all let me just say, for me, when I saw the slap that Maul, that was handed to Maul on fight night with Crawford and Spence, I knew then that the right choice was made for Jermell. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was scratching my head the whole time, like, how is Jermell gonna move up to fight this man? Why not just Maul? But now I see why. I get it.
But I'm gonna tell you like this, Jamal, I know he hurt because he been wanting this Canelo fight for the longest. And if his brother wins, then that means no payday for him. And that's how you're looking at it. Because if Jermell beats Canelo, it's going to be a rematch. And we already know what's the last name on that contract. And it's not Jamal. So if Jermell beats Canelo, and that rematch is going to take away Jamal's fight that he's been wanting all his life. And see, I think that's why Jamal is secretly hoping his brother loses. But, it's hard for Jamal to be happy for his brother. Because Jamal, he missed the boat. And he missed the biggest fight that he was trying to get on his own accord. And his brother was ready. His brother stepped in. And his brother took the fight. A lot of people saying he shouldn't have, but why pass up the fight if you can't take it? It's not my fault. So a lot of people felt like Jermell backstabbed his brother by taking the Canelo fight, but if Jermell didn't take it, somebody else would have took it. So yeah, his money is not Jermell's money, but that's still your brother. If your brother eats, then you eat. And I guess he feel like he the big brother, even though it was only 7 minutes. And his brother is getting a world-class, world-defining fight. And he watching his boxing career go everywhere because everybody always considered him Big Charlo and the best Charlo. But now his brother done got undisputed. Now he going for undisputed ×2. I mean, it's a lot on Maul, but he had his chance too. But I would never hate on my brother. If my brother's doing good, I feel like I'm doing good too because we got the same blood.
Yeah, we was always taught as kids to whenever we have an issue with our siblings, you don't let the world see it. You handle that indoors because all you're doing is opening up for outsiders to be able to come for them or come for me. You feel me? Because if we're not as one out here, they can anybody. We're basically telling anybody that y'all can come up and roll up on us, and that's not how we was raised.
Yeah, he said that, Coach Amber. But you know, people will say things that they don't mean though. You know, but TJ love boxing. Salute, King. But yeah, Maul did say let him have the fight, but that's just like a guy telling a person they ask him like, look, your ex-girl trying to holler at me, man, you mind? And you know, niggas be like, man, go ahead, man. I don't give a damn about that girl. When secretly you know how they feel about that. Actually, Kawhi, he had that fight. He had a fight against Canelo in 2019 and turned it down. Or was it 2020? It was right before the real pandemic. And Jamal turned it down. Yep. It wasn't 2 years ago. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. They tried to give Jamal a Canelo fight, and he turned it down. You right, Akello. I'm just trying to figure it out, bro. I'm just trying to figure it out.
But I think that this is going to be a really good fight, though. I really do. I do believe it. It is. I'm betting my money on the rounds for anybody that is trying to, bet something. I always bet on the rounds when it comes to fights like this, and I don't see this going to 12.
I got a 9-12. I stoppage between 9 and 12.
Yeah, I'm really focused on round 10, to be honest with you.
You say what?
I'm really looking at round 10. Like, I don't think it goes past 10. I would be very surprised if it goes past 10.
Hey, Rick Timms. No, Maul ducked Canelo first. And then Canelo ducked Maul. They was trying to give Maul $5 million to fight Canelo, and Maul didn't want the $5 million. But yeah, Coach Emery came from a jealous place, but I can feel like this though. Like, I understand why Jamal's upset, but he can't be mad at nobody but himself. Like I said, if my brother got it, I'd be happy for my brother, even though my brother's money is not my money. Like hell. If my brother gets it, at least one of us got it. I mean, it's hard to say because they so competitive with each other though, but I mean, facts, D1. My dad was a twin at 18. He didn't want to be a twin no more. I think this is Mel's chance to separate himself. Facts. Mel ain't Lil Charlo no more. He used to hate being called Lil Charlo.
I think Mel separated himself when he became undisputed.
Yep.
And I don't know why he gets like as a undisputed champion, as somebody that has fought tough fights, fought rematches, lost the belt, got it back. I don't understand why he has to go up 2 weight classes and beat Canelo to get the respect that he deserves. Because even if he loses to Canelo, that doesn't change him being a great fighter and a top pound for pound fighter. Like, y'all want him to do the impossible before y'all even acknowledge his greatness when he's already got undisputed in the 154 division. That's not easy to do.
Facts, 2 cents. And I've always had Jermell. I think Jermell right now is number 4 on my pound for pound list. I've never overlooked Jermell. I've always thought Jermell, to clear out that division the way that he did, to run it back when fighters are not running it back, man, I've always had Jamel at my top because I see it. I've been knew what type of pressure and power that man is bringing.
And he's still getting better. He's still getting better. So can we even say he's at his peak right now? How old is Jamel?
I think he's in his early 30s, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe late 20s, early 30s, but he still got some time left. This isn't like a, one or two fights and I'm done. No, he's still got time. And the good thing about the position that he's in, which is, truly a power position, is that even if he loses this Canelo fight, he does not lose. You know what I'm saying? Like he has more to gain than what to lose. And I think a lot of people are overlooking that aspect of it.
Well, you would think that, and I agree with you on that. He should, but it's just like some type of campaign to destroy anything that has to do with PBC, Spence, Derrick James. So they're already saying, "Oh, Derrick James has to win this fight to redeem himself." Like they don't. It's like once a fighter loses, especially like somebody from PBC, like a Spence, a Wilder, a Charlo, then it's like, oh, they was nothing. It's like automatic take away every single thing, accomplishment they've ever done just for one loss. They tried to take everything away from Derrick James because Errol Spence lost, as if he doesn't have an undisputed champion in Charlo. And I don't understand. It's like the perception.
I think too. And that's a good point, 2 cents. And I think the reason why that's being done is because they waited for so long for this to crumble. You get what I'm saying? Like even when Spence had lost, the next person they brought up was Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? And they know that Earl and Tank are really good friends. Supposedly, I don't know personally, but from what I'm hearing, that they are. And so they it's like a domino effect. Like okay, we got one board, we got one chess piece off the board. It's time for another one. And these are the pillars that are standing in that way to really be able to, what I'm saying, take a huge, what on PBC because they are the faces. And it's unfortunate, that we had to feel this way or that some people feel this way and can't just give people their just due. Shout out to Just Do Boxing and his channel. But at the same time, when it comes to an Earl Spence and Derrick James, first of all, we have to really acknowledge something. What they were able to do at a time when there was so many people in the pot, and for them to come out 28-0 before he fought Bud Crawford is an anomaly in itself. How he did it, what he did, not to mention him being Olympian, very accomplished. So this was just their waiting moment of now we can finally get him. You get what I'm saying? Now we can finally have something, and then it don't make it any better that prior to that fight, Frank Martin didn't have. I thought it was a good performance by Frank with the level of competition that he was facing. But a lot of people didn't think that, and they felt as though then that Derrick James was exposed. Remember, you see what I'm saying? So now this was just another icing on the cake. And then unfortunately, if Charlo wins, and let's say Charlo gets stops in the 6th and 7th round, this is the nail in the coffin right here. And people are just going to throw the baby out with the bathwater when it comes to Derrick, or you know what I'm saying, Earl, all of them. And this is why for me, I am truly rooting for Charlo, like because I know what's at stake here. Like I really, really do. But he's still in a great power position because nobody is expecting him to win anyway by moving up 2 weight classes. What do you think about that, 2 cents?
Yeah, I agree. Just like the same with Earl, like you said, he's accomplished so many things, he's overcame so many things, and he lost to the quote unquote #1 pound for pound best fighter on the planet. And people want to act like he lost to Blair Cobb.
Oh my goodness. And that's what
Hold on,
irritates
my
me.
headphones just cut off. Can y'all
Okay.
hear me?
Yes.
I can hear y'all. And so it's just they cannot wait to have for Charlo to lose and Spence have a loss. And we're talking about 2 losses against one against a unified champion and one against an undisputed champion. and then you want to say he don't deserve trainer of the year, he don't deserve this, or they don't deserve that. And it's just a really a double standard, and I don't understand it. Now they want to say Spence not a Hall of Famer, and he ain't fought nobody. Like it's really weird, and it's not just fans. You can see other like mainstream quote unquote corporate media hopping on that bandwagon and regurgitating these same things. And and,
Well,
and, and I don't understand where it's coming from.
I think the talking points are there, and a lot of it. Let's be clear, the two
Okay.
names that we have to also identify is Floyd Mayweather and Al Heyman. You get what I'm saying? A lot of this goes back to the hate that a lot of people have for them, and Errol Spence was like their shining king. So a lot of this is just deflected hate. Now that we can't say anything about Floyd anymore, let's go put it on Earl. And to answer Akello's question, shout out to that king. Do y'all think Jamal will get that killer instinct back? Yes, he has no choice. He's working with Roy Jones. Roy Jones gonna get it up out of him.
Could y'all hear me a second ago, Key?
No, we didn't hear anything to Upper.
I was talking my ass off.
I'm sorry, Upper.
We thought you might have stepped away for a second.
No, I was
Exactly.
talking my ass off, and then I couldn't hear you, and I was going in, and I had to go out and come back in.
Well, go ahead and cook, Upper. I'm sorry.
Oh no! I was just wondering. I'm good. I forgot everything I said.
2 Cent, what do you think? Akello asks, do y'all think Jamel would get that killer instinct back? 2 Cent and Upper, and I don't know the is that Coach
Give me a
Andrew?
second. Let me fix my headphones. I'm gonna come back and answer.
I would
Okay.
hope that he gets it back, but I mean, I feel like maybe if he gets in the ring and he gets hit, then it might snap back in or something. But he let a woman take him down. And a good woman can be a backbone or can be a downfall. It depends on however you let it go. And I hope Mel's accomplishments sparks that competitiveness in his brother. It makes him want to go out there and do his thing. Like I hope it's like okay, because like I said, it's still Triple G out there for Jamal. Like he still got fights out there. But
I know, but that's not in compare. That's pales in comparison for Canelo.
I
I
mean, but
made
it's
the
still a
point.
big fight. Triple G is still a big name.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you gotta start somewhere.
No, and I get that, and I respect that. What your position that you just said. But I think for me, what I said prior was that with Roy Jones, like Roy Jones is a
Or
dog.
Roy Jones gonna make you or break you.
He's going. That's what I said. I said Roy Jones. He has no choice. He knew exactly what he was doing with hiring Roy Jones Jr. And
But
that's one of my favorite fighters.
Roy Jones one of my favorite fighters. But I've seen the way he trained Chris Eubanks. Jamal is not a fast fighter to fight Roy Jones style though. You feel me? Like you got to be athletic to fight the way Roy fights. You feel what I'm saying? I don't think that he has the athleticism to fight that way. Like,
But what about the mentality that Roy Jones could
oh yeah,
bring
he'll get the
though?
mentality right, but we see Eubanks trying to fight like Roy Jones, and we see them get beefy smithed. You feel me?
But Jamal is better than Eubanks. So
I mean, I understand that, but certain fighting styles you have to have a certain amount of athleticism to do. And Jamal
Roy
Charlo,
don't need to train nobody. Roy own style. He couldn't do no more when he lost his athleticism.
that's why I said you have to have
he went
athleticism.
up in weight though.
Yep,
He
you
went
took the
up in
words
weight.
right out of my mouth. Just because you're a good fighter don't make you a good trainer.
But
Exactly.
what
Like
about
it's
You
but
very
what
gotta
hard
have.
to
about him going up
transcend.
in weight?
You
But
should
what
never
about him going
teach
up in weight?
nobody. Nobody should ever learn Roy Jones' style. That's not a style that you teach boxers.
But what about
Roy
Roy
was
Jones
able to.
Jr. going up in weight?
Roy made so many mistakes in fights, but he's one of the most giftedest athlete to ever lace him up. That's why he was able to overcome and overcompensate for it. I don't see no other fighter that's athletically gifted enough. Maybe Boots that could fight Roy's style. Maybe Boots, but you got to be Roy. Roy was a
Yeah, I
dog.
like that. With the foot back and forth. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's probably somebody that's athletic enough.
Yeah, everybody else is not athletic enough to fight Roy's style. You see, Eubanks got destroyed by Beefy trying to do that. Yeah, Rick, he does have one of the best jabs in boxing, but you know Roy Jones wasn't a jabber. He wasn't a jabber. Roy had that left hook, that lead left hook. But like I said, Roy would be good for mentality wise, but he still needs to keep somebody to help him train fundamentally. Because Roy's not a fundamental fighter, and he can't train fundamentals. Like
I know
Eubanks, go ahead.
nobody's gonna like this, but Prince Nassim, complete jackass. Complete jackass. However, highly athletic. Would you want somebody like him training you?
No,
I mean,
No,
Chris
no,
Nassim was
no.
highly athletic.
I mean, but
He
he
was
was
highly
No.
highly
athletic,
athletic.
but you see what happened when he got in there with a highly technical fighter, Marco Antonio Barrera. He got destroyed.
I think Roy is more of a mentor to these guys, kind of like how you seen him with Jared Anderson.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I think Roy is good for that, like to help them with their mental.
But that's why I said I think Roy Jones Jr. is there for the mentality. I don't think that he's
Right.
technically there for the
Now I'm gonna tell you
Well,
another
yeah, I
person that
agree
could
with you.
probably do Roy's style, Deontay Wilder, because of his athleticism at the heavyweight. He could probably fight Roy's style at heavyweight. Deontay Wilder could.
I think
Because
I
his
just seen was that the Severn fight where he hit him with the Euro step and then came with the right.
Because see, Deontay Wilder has the speed, the agility, and the athleticism to fight a Roy style at heavyweight. But like I said,
But my disagreement would be if when Deontay Wilder puts his leg up, it almost go to his armpit. Like he's tall. Like he's just built differently.
He got a short torso. Is what you saying?
Yeah, he's like how everybody makes fun of his skinny legs. Like, first of all, who cares? But yeah, he's got a short torso and long legs. So if he were to lift that knee high, like that thing going damn near go to his shoulder.
hey, well, who's so salute, King? But yeah, that's all I was saying. I'm just saying, like, Deontay is athletic enough to fight a Roy style at heavyweight, but I wouldn't recommend it. But like Boots and Deontay will probably be the athletic people that can fight Roy style. Like Chris Eubanks, he looked bad doing Roy style. He was getting caught. He couldn't get out the way quick enough. Like you got to be athletic and have to be fast to fight Roy style. And as soon as Roy slowed down a little bit, Carver caught him. Then Glenn Johnson caught him. Then everybody started catching him. And that's the thing. You have to have good fundamentals. Yeah, that's true,
yeah.
Rick. But what I was saying, I wasn't saying that Deontay should use Roy's style. I just said his style would fit for Deontay at heavyweight because he's so much faster than everybody else and more athletic. That's why I was saying where the style would work at. I'm not telling Deontay to go fight that style. No, I'm just looking as a boxer where it would fit in good at. That's what I was saying.
I think that as far as like training inside the ring for Jamal, I think a good trainer, which I can't wait for him to be mentioned in Trainer of the Year. I think it's coming soon. Would
Ooh.
be like a Bozianis or a Boots. Yeah, I can't wait for Bozianis to be mentioned. Man. I really can't. I'm
Oh yeah,
thinking
because he
about him
did
like
good. He's doing good with your boy that beat Keyshawn Johnson, like Andy Cruz. He got Boots. He trained a lot of good people up there.
yeah, he
I didn't know
does.
he
And
was training Andy Cruz.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's Andy Cruz guy. He
yeah,
got
you
him
know Andy
straight off
Cruz
the boat.
straight off the boat and fought a 10 round fight. While
Y'all know
Keyshawn
who I
still
can't
fighting
wait to see in
8
the ring
rounds.
though, for real. I can't wait to see Ryan Garcia.
Hey, man,
Ryan looks good. Ryan looks good.
I've been looking at Ryan on FaceTime. I'm telling you, I can't wait to see him in the ring. And I don't even want to see him in the ring against a slow league. I want to see him against somebody that can thump. Because I want to see what his potential is. I've seen what he looked like. I want to see right now. Honestly, I think Ryan will beat Frank Martin right now, and I'm just being honest.
Upper,
He's a
that's a
Ooh.
lot
tall
bigger.
order now. Upper, that's a
Ooh,
tall
that's
order
saying a
now.
Look,
lot up. That's
That's a
saying a
tall
lot
order.
up.
exactly. Look, Ryan's bigger than Frank. He's faster, and I'm telling you, Ryan. Look, y'all gonna see this next fight, man. Y'all probably like, man, he tripping. Y'all gonna see the next fight. Like Ryan is 300% better than what he was versus Tank.
Upper. Derek
Go.
James is a world class fighter. Okay. Uh, one thing that I learned in this game, you train people according to their body types.
Exactly.
To their body types. Look at Andy Reese, okay? Big boy, fast hands. And the anomaly with Tank Davis, okay, he's a little guy, but his torso is kind of built like a welterweight.
You know, Dynamite comes in small
He's
packages.
just he's just small.
Is
Like
that why he got
that is
that
one
power?
thing. Yes, like that is one thing that my coach always told me as a fighter. Like you gotta like I had one person that trained me as a fighter, another that trained me as a trainer, but you have to train them according to their body type.
Yeah, that's what makes a great
And
coach.
and
And
that is
Ron
one
Hall,
thing that Derek James has said he knows how to do plenty of times. Because
yep,
think about it, these are developed fighters that walk in and day out. Now, when somebody walks in a ball of clay, you start with ABC. That can be frustrating. But when they walk in and they're already developed, you're at LMNOP, XYZ, you work on them based on their pluses and minuses. So you basically sharpen their pluses, try to fix their minuses. If you can't, you hide them.
yeah,
So I mean, and I've when I heard Derek James say that, I was like, man, that is so true. You train the fighter based on their body type, based on their style, based on their athleticism, and then you have to still factor in the knowledge and whether they have technique and all. Like it's not easy being a trainer. It's really not.
yeah.
Well, that's why they say that fighting is one of the loneliest sports in the world, man. Because so a lot of things that they go through that they put their body through. You know what I'm saying? The physicality of it all, and then, in my opinion, boxing is more so mental as well. So
I'm gonna tell y'all this, right? They think I'm bull crapping on Ryan talking about T.O. beat him. I don't think T.O. can beat Ryan Garcia like the old Ryan Garcia. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you like this. Yeah, I don't think I'm bull jiving, but I'm gonna tell you recently I've seen Ryan Garcia spar Ugas. I'm gonna just tell you this now. I've seen him spar Yadaitis Ugas before this Barrios fight, and I'm telling you now. If you see the way Ryan looked against Ugas, then you'll understand what I'm saying. Ryan Ryan has a lot more power, and Ryan is fast, and he keeps his chin protected, and he has a right to go with that left now, and he stabs to the body hard, and like I'm not saying Ryan's the best out there. I'm just telling you now. Just expect Ryan to be 1,000 times different. Like it's not the same person
I
that
believe
fought.
you.
What I'm trying to tell y'all
I,
is,
be, I believe
what
you.
y'all don't understand is Ryan. Everything that Ryan's been doing up to this point, he's been doing it lazily without really a trainer to help train his skills. So he was y'all gotta realize he was on par with Devin Haney when they first came in. They was 3-3 versus each other. Now Ryan finally has somebody to coach and teaches him, and he stays in the gym. And yeah, T.O.'s a problem, Rick. But what I see him do to to Yadaitis Ugas, what I seen him do to Yadaitis Ugas last week, I'm trying to tell you, Ryan is a problem. Y'all gonna see it. That's why I hope he hurry up and gets into that ring. He needs to
Upper.
help get his
I've
skills.
met
He's
Ryan
fighting in
Garcia.
November, right?
I don't know exactly when the fight is, but like I said last week, well, what's the day? Well, I know less than 10
I've
days
met
ago.
him. He was on posters, national tournaments, qualifiers, quarterly tournaments. Like he's on the poster. He was the poster board child, and
I
that
see.
is
I see.
probably why he got lazy.
Yeah,
That's probably why he got lazy.
yeah. He got
But
lazy. Ryan Garcia got lazy, and he built his fan base up. He was building his fan base up. He wasn't building his skills up. Now he's been focusing on his skills, and the man was just as big as. Well, I think he was a little bit bigger than Ugas as well, too, man. The man looked like about 150, 155. And I'm telling you now, he was piecing it up. And yes, Alexander, his footwork, he reminds you of Earl in Earl's earlier years. He keeps the same style. He got the catch and shoot. He's catching and shooting with the right and the left. And he has the left hook, it whips out like a monster. but he got a right to the body that's even more vicious. I'm trying to tell you now, he's looking real. He's looking real special now. That's why I said him and Tate after about 3 fights is gonna be the big fight. With Ryan, I feel like Ryan beats Rolly, T.O. gets the belts. I want to see Tate versus Ryan at 140. That'll be a true test of it right there. Devin Haney versus Ryan. They need to break the tie. And after y'all see this next fight, whoever Ryan fights, I got Ryan stopping him in under 6 rounds in his next fight. Whoever they put in the ring with him is whoever they put in the
Hey,
ring with
friggin',
Ryan. Whoever they put in the ring with Ryan Garcia, he stops him under 6 rounds.
hey, upper free game. Like I said, amateur, but amateur is where we do the dirty work for the
Yeah, y'all
pros.
gotta fight every different style in amateur. You can't even prepare for your opponent.
Yeah, okay. Free game. 2 to 3 times a year, we lay them off. There's no dieting. There's no like, the Takis and all that BS. We let them eat what they want. Go a month or two, let them eat what they want. Continue doing the workout, and how much they blow up that's how you figure out whether they should move up. That's how you figure out how much they should move up. If they don't blow up that much, cool. They're cool. Now, if they blow up really, really big with the continued workout, it might be time.
Yeah.
Like
So
it might
if
be
you got
time,
a
and
fighter,
that's the thing.
Coach Amber, I got a
Go
question
ahead.
for you. How do you determine what weight your fighter should fight at? Like my son fights now, he's about 123 pounds, just walk around. How do you determine what he should fight at? Like
How many
how
fights you got?
low could he go? Huh?
How many fights you got?
Oh, he just got one fight. He just started.
All right, he's got one fight.
Yeah.
You said he's 103.
No, he's about 123.
And the next, okay, I don't have my chart in front of me.
I'm just
Honestly,
curious, what's
he's
the
got one
formula?
fight. No. If he's got one fight, I wouldn't do anything between 3 and 5. 3 to 5 pounds.
3 to 5 pounds? Okay.
Hey
Yeah, 3 to 5
Rod.
pounds.
Hey Rod, you gotta realize
So
Rod's still young, bro. Like he
I
hasn't
don't,
developed his
I don't
habits.
have, I don't have the chart in front of me because they change the Olympic style all the time. But if he's fighting and he's only got one fight, he shouldn't be cutting nothing more from 3 to 5. But you also got to realize everybody loses weight differently. Like
Yeah.
I have a kid that can drop 7 pounds in a week, and then I have a girl that can look at food and gain weight. So every
Slow
fighter is
metabolism.
different.
Yeah,
But
that's me.
um, what was his weight again?
123.
Rod,
Three
he's
to five.
sharpening him down though, Rod. That's why he's
Honestly,
sharpening
like
him
if he's
down.
only got one fight, I would just put it at 3. Unless how old is he? That factors in too. How old is he?
15.
Ah, then he should be able to drop. Yeah, as
Yeah.
much as they consume. I'm sure he eating you out of house at home, ain't
Absolutely.
he?
Hey, Rod Walker. Yeah, he spent time on the zone, but he got in some beautiful fights on there, but they weren't the great quality fights. But you got to realize every time he got the fight, I mean, he still was fighting a fighter. But he's breaking all the old habits. That's why he took so much time off before the fight because they restructured his whole fighting style. And when you're a young fighter like Ryan, it's easy to break some of them habits that you got because he hasn't been ingrained with them habits for that long. People forget that Ryan is still young. He hasn't even reached his prime yet. And he done got in there with Derrick James. And plus, Ryan stays in that gym. And not only is Derrick James helping Ryan, he also has Floyd Mayweather who's training him as well. Ryan Garcia is getting trained by Floyd Mayweather as well. Going to Floyd House, everything. Floyd is teaching that man as well. So he has arguably one of the best defensive fighters ever teaching him. Plus he has an offensive juggernaut like Derrick James fighting him. Now that might be a hard fight right there, Ryan Walker, because Gary Russell is also a hell of a fighter right there. I'm just saying, at 140, I think the only people that really give Ryan problems is probably Sabril Matias and Gary Russell. Honestly, I feel like he might go ahead and beat Regis as well, because people forget Ryan has a vicious left hook, and that shit is fast and it's hard, and he has a hell of a body shot. Now that body shot is serious, and that's
I
why I
want to see
said,
Russell get some nice competitive fights. I want to see him start
yeah, I want
fighting
to
the
see
bigger
Gary.
names.
I want to see Gary Russell fight. I want to see him fight either Regis or Sabril. Like, I want to see Gary Antoine Russell fight. You feel what I'm saying? I'm tired of these no-name fights. I want to see him get in there with either Sabril Matias or Regis, or hell, him and Devin had beef. I want to see him and Devin get their shit on. But I
Yeah,
don't want to see him and Devin first. I want to see Devin get used to the weight first before he turns around and fights Russell, because I want them to be at their best. TJ, I can't really say that, because what you got to understand, Ryan has faster hands and more power than Devin, and his footwork is now catching up, and he's taller than Devin, so he's long. So the attributes that Devin has over most fighters, he doesn't have over Ryan. And like I said, Devin and Ryan went 3-3. Now Ryan's getting world class training. Now I was shocked. Like I'm a boxing enthusiast, but I was shocked. And the way I see him doing a world class fighter, a former champion like Yanadas Ugas, like, he was making him look bad. He was making ooh. That's why I'm kind of leaning to a Barrios in this next fight. I'm kind of leaning to a Barrios in this next fight, but I feel like Ryan will stop Barrios though. So it was just it's just tough. That's why I got the Barrios and Ugas flipped on 2 parlay tickets. I got them both on the parlay ticket and flipped it. But yeah, Ryan outclassed Yanadas Ugas. I feel like if Ryan and Ugas got to fight, Ryan stops Ugas. Like, honestly, that's what I see. In that little bit of sparring that I see, he was catching them clean and he was hurting them to the body. He was hurting them.
I think too, what a lot of people are not realizing is that Devin normally fights shorter boxers. They're never at his eye level. Well, at least for the past few fights, they haven't been. And this is going to be the true time when if and when he does fight Ryan, Ryan's going to have a little, maybe like an inch or two above him, and that's going to be for an interesting fight. I'm not even looking at the Regis fights. I already think that Devin is going to box circles around it, but I do want to see him fight Ryan, because I believe that is the fight. People are saying Richardson Hitchens. I think he's a phenomenal boxer, but really that true eye test for me with Devin would be Ryan Garcia, with the new skills that he's developed with Derek James.
No, Richardson Hitchens and Devin, that's a high level fight right there. I would like to see that too.
No, that's a good fight, but I would like to see someone that's a little taller than him, because he normally
I
fights
would like to
shorter
see,
people.
before I see Ryan versus Devin, I like a prequel. I would like to see Devin versus Richardson and Ryan versus Tio, and then the winners meet up. I would like to see that right there.
I think Devin should end with Ryan, to be honest with you.
That's what I said. Fight Richardson, then go to Tio. I mean, then go to Ryan.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, the 140 division is stacked.
Man, 140 is just getting
Yeah,
better and better. And see, we forget about fighters like Brandon Lee and all them right there. Like, that would have been a good fight for Ryan, Brandon Lee. But I don't know. I don't even know who he fighting coming up. Like,
I was gonna
I
say,
think
is he
he's supposed to be
active
fighting in
still?
November. I don't think they said yet though. And then uh Delusional De La Hoya was mentioning something about Super Bowl weekend.
yeah,
But
De La Hoya.
I feel
De
like
La
he
Hoya.
always saying something about Super Bowl weekend. What you say?
I hope they go ahead and get Ryan away from it, because Mayweather's trying to sign Ryan to Mayweather Promotions. And Oscar's trying to fight it tooth and nail. I just wish they go ahead and pay Oscar off, buy out the contract, and get the hell up out of there, man. Because if Ryan goes to Mayweather Promotion, he's going to make the money back. He's going to make Mayweather his money back. You can put him in there with Rolly, and that'll make the Oscar money right back. And then he'll have a world class belt. He'll have a championship belt up there. Then you can set it up for championship fights. And
Wait a
one
minute,
thing
I thought
about
Rolly was being stripped. No, is that off the table now?
because he ain't fighting O'Hara Davis.
Right, I thought that O'Hara Davis was gonna fight somebody else, and Rolly, they're either gonna make him like a recess or they're gonna take it from him or something. I don't know.
Well, Ryan and O'Hara Davis is both his old Oscar De La Hoya, so I would rather see Ryan versus O'Hara Davis for the belt. That'd be a good fight instead of letting Ryan fight. That'll test Ryan at 140, and you can see what Ryan got. And it's for a belt. And Ryan can get the belt, and then him and Rolly can fight to make that money. Because that's why Rolly mad. Rolly talk about O'Hara Davis is messing up the big money fight between him and Ryan. That's why he's mad. Rolly wants a pay-per-view fight with Ryan Garcia. That's who Rolly wants. Because
it can still be a pay-per-view fight. He don't have to have a belt.
But Rolly beat Ryan in sparring. So Ryan has some get back for him. Because you remember a couple years ago, Rolly was doing Ryan dirty. What Rolly don't realize is he get that ring with Ryan now, he going to sleep. But that makes for a big fight. Ryan fighting for a world championship belt. His fans gonna come out and flop. That's why it'll be big with the belt.
But you know what? That press conference would be epic between Ryan and Rolly. I can't even lie.
and people can say what they want, but you gotta realize Ryan. I think they say he got 25 million Instagram followers and like 11 million TikTok followers. Yeah, he got the fans, but I appreciate everybody for coming out here. Y'all go ahead and get y'all last speech because my boy Just Do on now. It's time to get our Just Do boxing in.
It's always good to come
take
up
my
here.
medicine again.
It's always good to come up here and chop it up with you up. I'm going to drop my link in the chat if anybody interested in following my channel and listening to my 2 cents on some of these boxing topics. But I guess I'll hop back on and chat with y'all tomorrow.
All right. We'll be here same time every day. Key, you want to give your final thought, co-host?
Yes. Thank you, Upper. I know it's been a while since we've been able to stay on for a full show. Thank you for having me on. Shout out to 2 Cents. I'm going to definitely follow you. I didn't even know you had a channel, Queen. But shout out to you. Shout out to Thomas, D1, everybody that came up here. Salute to the chat. It's still man down, GTD all day. Can't wait for the Benavidez Andrade fight. I can't wait for us to chop it up on that. And as always, stay blessed and fabulous. God bless everybody. Upper, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Key Alexander. Y'all subscribe to 2 Cent, and y'all subscribe to Coach Amber. These are ladies that know they boxing, and y'all know how we end it. Oh, Young World, man, appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. And y'all know how we like to end it over here, man. The same way we started, cause we want that smoke over here.
They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Tryna catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was closed, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get to striking. Guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. drum rounds and cripple ops Draco. I got them all, you don't want no. Smoke. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really trippin', leaving nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason.